Hi, my name is Maaz, and I'm here with the Odd Ones Out to talk about how he dreams about furry prison.
What? Listen. You don't?
You need to stop.
I just want to say 2 words.
Okay.
Zootopia tiger.
Fair enough, you win. Your Honor, I am guilty. Take me away to furry prison. So James and I wrote down all of our crazy dreams that we had for about a month. And then we thought it would be a really cool video to share them with each other for The Odd Twos Out channel.
That was 2 years ago, yeah.
I really was fond of the dreams that we shared, especially the ones you were sharing, because people had already started working on it. And so I decided that, maybe I could tell you a bit more of my dreams and then recomplete the project and put it over on my channel. And the way it's going to work is that James wanted to let his storyboarders draw out the stories in their own unique styles. I decided to continue with that same way and let people within my team and some of my storyboarding friends also animate these stories. So if you like this style or aesthetic of a specific story or storyboarder, make sure to check out the description below to find them. Oh, and this video was sponsored by Genshin Impact. More on that later.
Oh, no! Are you kidding me? What?
Yeah, I am serious. I actually like the game, okay? Oh, and if you want to support me as well, make sure to check out my high-quality new merch I just dropped. I've been working on it for months, and it's really good stuff, so make sure to go to martianwear.com and check it out. This hoodie alone is worth getting, okay? Alright, now James, what do you want?
First dream, I went to jail for 2 years for hitting someone. And as I was walking through the jail cell, I realized that it was a jail for dragons. I remember walking down, there was one dragon in a very tiny cell and we had a bunch of chains on it and it was shaking and crying and it was going, I did something horrible. And that really freaked me out. It made me scared of dragon prison. But we were just walking down the hall, seeing just dragons in different varying levels of cells. And we get to the end of the hallway and there was my cell, but it was the nicest cell because I was only in prison for hitting someone. So I was also only in prison for 2 years, but even though I was only in prison for 2 years and I had the nicest cell, I thought it was dragon crap that I had to waste 2 years of my life in prison. So I tried to escape the dragon prison, and by escaping, I tried to talk to some of the dragons to
recruit?
Bust out. Yeah, I tried to recruit some of the dragons to bust out, but then I woke up.
Wait. I have so many questions here. So first of all, did it look different? Was the jail differently designed and shaped?
So my jail cell was actually a giant field. It was weird. It was like an inside field. Huh? And I was like, oh, this is a very nice cell. I was worried about nothing. But I'm still here for 2 years, and that's a big waste. So I wanted to, I rallied up other dragons to break out of jail. So.
This dream that I had is the one that really picked up my mood, and it's a dream called Genshin Impact.
Oh! Click on the link in the description.
Genshin Impact is the open-world action RPG that everyone's been raving about. I've been playing it myself, and it seems to have also taken the internet by storm. In Genshin Impact, you start off your magical adventure in the continent of Teyvat, where you can step onto 7 different regions with their own unique cultures, elements, and mysteries to uncover. And it is an absolutely gorgeous game, where both the world and the characters are just pure eye candy. Not only that, it's also got a super dynamic combat system where the 7 elements interact with one another, allowing you to strategize on how you're going to use the reactions to take down your enemies. Best of all, Genshin Impact is a free cross-platform game where you can play it on PC, Android, iOS, PS4, and PS5. And the new update allows you to obtain the new character Yae Miko, who can absolutely step on me, along with the classic superstar characters Raiden Shogun and Sangonomiya Kokomi coming back for wishes as well. There's even a brand new super mysterious boss with a massive katana that's been added, so make sure to complete the story quest to uncover who they are. And finally, the new events such as the 3 Realms Gateway offering, Divine Ingenuity, and Of Drinker Dreaming are all worth checking out as well. So if you want to check out Genshin Impact for yourself and start on your own adventure, make sure to click on the link in the description below. Once again, thank you Genshin Impact for sponsoring this video. So this place, it's a world that's inhabited by wizards.
Okay.
Magic is everywhere in this world, and they're using elemental magic as if it's completely normal. So it's this very peaceful world of wizards and elemental magic, and then suddenly a traveler from another world appears and lands on this world. She's explaining that, hey, look, I'm from a planet, I have no science, I just came from a magic mana world.
She has no science, but she flew from outer space.
But she's using magic, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, checkmate, atheist. And so she's using magic to fly it from the world. And in that world, it's just mana. And so there's no water, there's no elements. It's just a pure magical world. And so this traveler is like, look, I'm here to see what the ocean is. I want to know what water is because our world doesn't have it. And she's explaining this super calmly. And then the other humans are like, what the fuck? They're so scared of this random alien that just came in, right? I was watching this happen, and then all of the wizards are terrified of this alien, and they attack her with all the magical strength that they could muster, but they were completely powerless. Like, she's a magical creature. Like, it just didn't even scratch her. She didn't even try to fight back. She was just like casually turned around and started running.
Okay.
And now this is where I come in.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. He breaks out of furry prison. In this world, I was like a really formidable aqua and aero mage, right? Which is like water and wind. And so I see this random alien running, not towards me, but like nearby. And I use my aero magic to kind of make a giant gust of wind and stops her in her tracks.
All right.
And then she's just like, yo, I commend you for your strength.
But I'm going to kick your butt.
Yeah, it's like, this is doing nothing to me. And so I'm using all of my aero and aqua magic. But then I think of this plan. I'm like, hey, come over here. And I make what appears to be a lake. And I'm like, yeah, if you go in, it connects to the ocean. And because she had never been to like an ocean or lake or whatever, didn't know what that was, she's like, yeah, that seems like a great idea. She goes in, and as soon as she steps into the lake, she gets submerged because she didn't know it would like...
Yeah, she doesn't know how to swim.
Yeah, she didn't even know what the water physics was because she didn't have that. And so she falls in, and she's like drowning. And then I take this opportunity to cast my strongest aero and aqua mage and flash freeze her. And that's how I win because like now she can't do anything. And she didn't even know what this was.
Wow.
And then I woke up and I was like, damn, I'm so good.
I gotta commend you for like having a plot, a loose plot, you know, of
yeah,
like, how am I going to win? And then you outsmarted the villain. I wouldn't even consider this person a villain, honestly. It's more.
No, she was like a very nice person in my dream, and
yeah,
I was like beating her up. How dare you be a foreigner?
In this dream, there was like one mega villain, and he invited a bunch of like smaller villains into this like meeting area and like this like evil laboratory. And then he showed us this ray that would turn you into a perfect monster. So he demonstrated this ray by firing it at a giant squid, and then it looked like the giant squid died at first, but then it came back to life and it was all white and looked like it was amplified. It was like more evil. It was like a more evil giant squid. And then I asked the villain, I said, won't the squid attack us? And he said, no. And then the roof opened up and then the squid got launched up into the ocean, which the ocean was up in the roof, basically. So that was it.
What the heck?
Okay, this isn't the weird part.
Oh, this is not the weird part? What the heck?
And so then the villain started talking to everyone, and this is like a line I remember in the dream. He was talking to everyone. He says, I can turn you into perfect monsters. You will never have a sore throat, ingrown toenail, or a zit on your face. That was just a line I remember. So he's, trying to convince the lesser villains.
It's like an infomercial for this ray? What the heck?
It was more like him rallying up a bunch of villains to become even stronger, more evil villains. And then he says, this is the weird part, he says, Luigi, how do you expect to get down on one knee without any knees? And then we reveal Luigi in a wheelchair and there aren't any legs on Luigi. And that's all I remember.
Wait. You just brought up so many things in one sentence.
So he was implying that he can grow Luigi's legs back. So it's like Luigi was trying to propose, but he couldn't because he didn't have any knees.
That's so I had this dream where I was like chilling on my sofa, relaxing, watching some TV, as you do. And I'm just like lazily clicking through the channels.
Okay.
And as I'm flicking through, I hear this like skittering noise underneath the TV cabinet.
Ooh.
And, like a little
Ooh.
weird noises, and I was like, I've never heard this. I don't know what's happening. And so I sat up and I'm just like kind of leaning in to see what's happening. And as I'm slowly leaning in, like trying to see what it was, a cockroach suddenly flies out.
Whoa.
And starts flying towards me. And at first I'm just like, okay, cockroaches can fly. Okay, sure. I start like lying back down like in my sofa to avoid the cockroach, but then it like swoops down and changes direction to attack me.
Oh.
And so as I'm like lying down in my sofa, right? So I'm just like shimmying side to side in my sofa to avoid it attacking me. And then I woke up and I was shimmying in bed.
Yeah, I was about to say, the fact that your dream was you laying on a couch and you like lean in and then you go back to laying down, I bet you actually did that in real life.
No, I actually think I did, yeah. I was fully like shimmying in my bed thinking that I was getting attacked by a cockroach.
I wonder if the skitter sound, I wonder if like that was in your bedroom somewhere, like the air conditioning was going off.
Why would he say that? Now I think there's a cockroach in my bedroom. Why would he say that? why would he say that right now?
I'm not saying the sound was a cockroach. I'm saying the sound could have been some other third party, like a car was driving by outside, and your brain took that sound and was like, "That's a cockroach."
I'm not sleeping in my bedroom anymore. I guess that's like the same thing like when you dream, because I know you wet the bed until you were 8 years old.
Hey, shut up! You're not supposed to know.
Listen, okay, I understand. So as I was saying, so when you peed yourself until you were 8 years old.
What about it?
You know when you're about to pee yourself, you don't know it, but in your dream, you think that you're in the toilet and you're going to pee. It was in Diary of the Wimpy Kid, where he thought he was like a firefighter and he was dousing water, and it turns out he was just peeing his bed. And it's like stuff like that. Your brain puts whatever like physical feelings you're having and puts in your dream. And so you would never know if something's happening in real life.
Unless you wake up afterwards and you're drenched in pee, then you could probably put 2 and 2 together.
No, that was me. Sorry, I came over and peed on you. Listen, like, I didn't want to tell you this, but it wasn't you until 8. It was me, actually.
It was me. It's always been me, James.
It's always been me.
I want to say before I tell you this dream, I've never done pot brownies before. Anyway, so this dream took place in the nighttime, and I was behind a building, and I was with my old improv group from high school, and we were all wearing our uniforms.
Wait, you were in improv?
Yeah, it was an improv in high school, and we all wore uniforms. They were blue. And I forgot who, but they pulled out these brownies, but the brownies were in like a bread bag. You know, those like little plastic bag. They pulled out these brownies, and they were like, "Here's the pot brownies." And I was like, sweet. I've never done pot brownies, okay? But that was just in the dream. The dream journal says, then some time passed, I don't remember what happened, but I noticed later that I lost the pot brownies and that my little sister appeared and was like, haha, I pranked you, I hid the brownies. And then I turned into like full on older brother mode of like, stop playing games. I like grab her and I was like, where did you put the brownies? Don't touch my brownies. And then she was like, okay.
What the heck?
I like, because they're pot brownies, dude. My little sister thought they were normal brownies. I tell my sister to show me where she hid the pot brownies, and she shows me where they were, and she like points to a parked car that was behind the building, and then like I looked into the car like this, and then I see the pot brownies, and I see one was eaten, and I asked my little sister, I was like, did you eat one of the pot brownies? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, the next 2 hours is gonna be a lot for you.
Okay. And what I wrote on the note app was I literally just wrote the words Aquaman, and there is no other context. There is nothing else. It's just Aquaman.
Wait, so I'm imagining you like woke up from this crazy vivid dream. You're like, whoa, I gotta write this down so I remember it. But you're just so tired, and the first thing you wrote is Aquaman. And you're like, I'll remember what that's about. And then you go back to bed or something?
Yeah, I literally went back to bed. I don't remember the dream. So there you go.
There's nothing, just Aquaman.
No, it's just Aquaman.
What a very insightful dream.
I was in this room. I was in my own bedroom, and out of the corner, right there was a shadowy figure. It was in the shape of like a giant egg, and it had a creepy smile.
Okay.
And then I asked it, is it time to get up? And then it replied by bouncing up and down and going, it's time to get up, it's time to get up, it's time to get up in the morning, it's time to get up, it's time to get up, it's time to get up today. Ha 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 ha. And that's all I remember.
Okay, so James, I just wanted to ask, what did we learn today?
I think we watched too many movies. I think that's what I learned.
I think I actually really like that I wrote down these dreams for a month, because now my dreams are more vivid and way more enjoyable to me.
And like as soon as you wake up, you're like, this is what happened. I remember them.
I actually like would recommend to write down your dreams.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then just record it on audio. Like that's what I ended up doing afterwards.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. You'll read what you wrote and you'll be like, oh, I remember it, you know?
I think that's also one of the tips to get lucid dreaming, which we can talk about later.
Oh, I've never been successful in lucid dreaming.
Well, yeah, because you keep dreaming about weird like Luigi having no legs and furry prison, okay? Like
Man, that was like 2 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, has that changed? Do you dream about better things now?
was like 2 years ago. Okay.
All right, and with that, wear your seatbelts and stay
and
aMAAZing.
stay aMAAZing.
All right, and so James, do you wanna try some pop brownies?
If you have some, yeah, I'll try some.
All right, class, before we begin, I'd like to remind you guys about the assignment due next week. You've had months to do it, so it should be nearly done by now.
Oh.
What are you doing? Wait, Maaz, where'd you get the knife? Wait, Maaz, no! Maaz, oh gosh, what the help! He's committed Sudoku! Maaz, why'd you do it?
I'd rather die than do my assignment.
Big mood. Don't you find it weird that with an art style that doesn't use eyes, I don't really use mouths either? Let's change that. Ever since starting this channel, there's been a worry at the back of my head about how I portray myself in my own videos. In real life, I'm just an extroverted dork who laughs a lot, watches too much anime, and compares himself to Bruno Mars way too often. But now, after telling you guys about how I murdered a duck, cheated on a test, stabbed my brother, lost my love, and got way too attached to dancing tigers, wow, I've admitted a lot of things. I wouldn't be surprised if parents looked at me with a mixture of fear and disgust as they shuffle away to keep their children 10 meters away. Well, it's either that or my van filled with candy. And so what better way is there to clear my own image than to regale you with a story about how I pretended to be drugged up, lied to my teacher, and submitted my assignment way later than the due date? Yep, that's a good idea. Now, let me give you a quick medical lesson. Tonsillitis. It's when there's an infection on these little pad things called tonsils at the back of your throat. And not to brag or anything, but I had massive tonsils and I got infections every few weeks. I remember distinctly the doctors saying that my tonsils were the largest he'd ever seen, like 2 golf balls at the back of my throat. Man, it was kind of rough having 2 large balls deep in my throat. What? It's a serious medical condition. And I'm not even kidding. I was told that I needed to get surgery to remove my tonsils. That's how bad they were. And then the conversation shifted to the date of my surgery. Now, this is when I started brewing some tea. You see, there really was a chemistry assignment at play here. Our teacher, Mr. Fuchan, gave us this big report that was due in 2 months. And being an absolutely stupid dingo, I was like, yeah, it's alright, I can handle this later. I've got some Minecraft Let's Play to watch. 7 weeks later and I hadn't started. Oh, and Minecraft wasn't relevant anymore.
Oh gosh, what have I done?
So, as you can imagine, when the doctor asked me about when to have the surgery, it was like a get out of jail free card for me, because I could purposefully schedule it around the due date of the assignment. And that's exactly what I did. Like, surely they would understand that I was literally having surgery, right? I wasn't just giving myself an excuse. It was just like an extension, you know? And it's fine. Don't worry about it. Except it wasn't. Surgery was earlier on this week and the assignment was due that Friday. And guess what? I got a call the next week on the Monday afternoon from Mr. Fuchan.
G'day, mate. Who's this?
Perhaps it was due to the recent surgery, the pain medication, or the idea of my parents absolutely whooping me around the place for skipping an assignment, but I put on the deepest voice that I could at the time and went, "Yeah, Maaz's dad speaking." But keep in mind that I was 16 at the time and my mouth was still sore, so I was probably like, "Yes, it is I, Maaz's father."
Oh. Are you okay?
Haha, yes, I just have a cold. Ha, you fool! You have been duped by my extraordinary performance.
Idiot!
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, sir, but Maaz's assignments were due last week. Do you have any idea when he'll be able to hand it to me?
Oh, yeah, Maaz is really tired after the operation. He can't even, play Roblox.
Right. Well, I wish him the best of luck.
He has been duped! It's only now that I realized that Mr. Fuchan sounded like he was smiling the entire conversation. And him asking if my dad was okay was his way of seeing how bad my excuse was gonna be. And look, an amateur teacher would have exposed me right then and there. But my boy, Mr. Fuchan, was a pro, so he knew exactly what he was doing. Because put yourself in Mr. Fuchan's shoes. You have this stupid kid on the other side of the phone trying to convince you that he's the father. But no matter how BS you think it might be, you can't just call out a parent on the phone like that. Because imagine if that really was my dad. He would have been like, "Boy, you better sit right the frick down with that accusation crap. Don't make me curry in a hurry down over there and beat the everlasting No. That That would be bad. Don't do that. So Mr. Footchan played it smart and didn't even react at all. Not even when I was handing in my assignment a week after the due date. He just kind of told me off and told me to go through the proper channels to get extensions next time. And nothing else, you know, no punishment. Not even when I got my assignment back. Yes! I just lied to my teacher about having surgery, pretended to be my own dad, handed in my assignment late, and I still got an A. And I genuinely thought I had fooled him as well. That is, until the very last day of school, almost 18 months after the incident. So the final day of high school is almost over, and I'm walking to my lockers, ready to leave this godforsaken school for the last time, when I coincidentally bump into Mr. Footchan. Now, despite what I've told you, he actually was a good bloke, so, you know, we chatted for a bit about graduation and future life and whatever, and then he says,
Hey, Maaz, I have a question to ask you.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, look, now that you've officially graduated, I can't really punish you or anything, but last year for your assignment, that was you who picked up the phone, wasn't it?
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Show your faces.
What? No, that was my dad, obviously. Like, he had the deep voice and everything. Duped again! No, I didn't run away. But I didn't tell him the truth either. I told him that it really was my dad on the phone. Come on, dude. Like, there I was, you know, Mr. Footchan, completely calling out my lie 2 years ago. And I ran away like a little wuss. It's so weird too, because when I look back at this entire thing, that's what I regret the most. Not lying to my teacher about having surgery, not pretending to be my own dad, not even getting called out. Just the fact that I wasn't able to own up to it, not even after I'd graduated. To be fair, I think it was because I was paranoid that he'd ruin my university chances somehow, but even then, totally should have admitted it. Because now, in my retrospective wisdom, I realize that I shouldn't have done all that in the first place. I really was a good student, and I don't exactly know why I rebelled against this specific assignment, and that's why, my Martians, I've decided to send this video to Mr. Footchan directly and clear my guilty conscience once and for all. It's been 6 years now, but it's time for me to come clean.
I freaking knew it!
Wait, what?
Come over here, you son of a...
Maybe I won't do that. No. Alright, I'd like to give a major shout out to Lucky the Human, Natimation Studios, and the Rapid Man 101. You guys indeed are super Martians and will lead the battle in the front lines. If you don't know what a Martian is with 2 A's, that's actually the name of our fan base. And people don't actually know this, but we're actually the strongest alien race out there. And we're all just chilling in my planet, you know, ready to kind of, take over the world, actually, yeah. If you want to have a chance for a shout out, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, and comment. I have turned on the bell and I am a super Martian. Especially the super Martian part, I actually control F and then randomize it. And if you do that, I'll show some of you in the next video, you know? Alright, I hope you enjoy that. I've really tried to step it up a few notches with this video, and let me tell you guys, lip syncing takes a crap ton of work. And I'd like to give a major thanks to Adini Tortellini for helping me out with the lips and actually giving me some of the frames to help me out a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually observed his animation to kind of improve my own animation. If you like my videos, make sure to check him out. Very good visual style. I'm sure you'll like it as well. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. Stay aMAAZing.
And stay hydrated.
Thanks, Timmy. Hello, Maaz speaking.
We've got Timmy.
What? He was just... You animals, what do you want?
I think it's quite clear what I want. Can I? Can I
please collab with you on my channel?
Hi, my name is Maaz, and I'm going to teach you how to work with your favorite YouTubers.
This video is sponsored by Wix.
I've been doing this YouTube thing for about 4 years now, and it's been one crazy ride. Just like any other job though, it's got its fair share of ups and also its fair share of downs. But you know what the craziest part about this entire YouTube thing is? It's the concept-
The fans?
Wait, huh?
Fame and money?
Well, yeah, kinda.
Fan fiction between you and your friend?
Okay, stop it! It's actually all of the messages that I get from people asking to collab or work with me. I remember back when I used to be a smaller YouTuber, I always looked up to some of my favorite creators. And I was like, I can't wait to work with them. And so the idea that some of you guys have the same reaction for me and want to work with me is like, dang. The answer is no. Get lost. And this weird feeling only got even more bizarre when I asked people in a video to help work with me on my animations. So not only did I have an influx of collabs, but now I also started to get job requests coming through from like talented people. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. But whilst I think most of you guys have the best intentions, I also think some of you guys need to learn how to never send emails again because spaghetti-o, they're really weird. I get that some of these emails are from kids, but since schools are canceled, I'll have to be the one to step up and teach you the do's and don'ts when it comes to working with your favorite YouTuber, or at the very least not coming across as a total weirdo. When I asked people to send in applications to work with me, I was going at it in the most adult, professional way possible. I made a new email, I was sending tests to people I shortlisted, and I even wore a tie. This one's my favorite. But despite all of that, I guess other people didn't think like that because I strangely got a lot of emails from people asking me to teach them about the job that they're applying for. Saying stuff like, yo, if you teach me the techniques, I'd be perfect. Or, hey, could you give me the program for me to learn? And then I can work for you. And I appreciate the sentiment a lot. I do. But I'd like you to refer to my previous statement. The answer is no. Get lost. You loser. Wait, you didn't say that last part before. So yeah, I didn't realize that I had to state this, but you should know the basics of what you're doing before you apply. You shouldn't expect the job itself to teach you all of the skills that they need, because that's just not how jobs work. Taxi, I want a taxi, please give me a taxi.
Dang it, if only we could have hired more taxi drivers.
Oh great, I'm perfect then, I'll just learn on the job. So yeah, tip 1, know what you're doing. The next thing I was worried about is the amount of people emailing me saying that they'd be willing to work for free. Why? Do you not want money? Because I don't know about you, but for me, it's a little suspicious when people offer to work for free. What's your incentive for working hard? I can't really expect you to meet deadlines or feel the pressure to get better because in the end, you're actually getting nothing out of it. And to me, it seems like they don't have confidence in their skills to ask for payment. However, that also ends up in me also not having confidence in you. So I don't hire you. I'm sorry, you just gotta be more sure of yourself, okay? Come here. You're valuable. Now, do you want the money or not? Another conundrum that I faced was that I wanted to give the job to people who are experienced. But how can you gain experience if you don't get the job? And how can you get the job if you don't have experience? And how can you gain experience if you don't have the job? Welcome to one of life's biggest mysteries of the working world. It's right on up there with the shrinking middle class, how to tip properly, and tax evasion. But honestly, that's why I wanted to check your portfolio, which is basically the collection of drawings, animations, designs, and past works in general, to see what you're capable of. And unfortunately, a lot of people didn't really send it correctly. They either didn't have enough, or they didn't organize it neatly, or they just send me a zip file, make me unzip it on my side, and then I had to open it to find out it's not actually artwork, it's actually just a signed poster of Jason Derulo. Like, come on! If you're applying for a position in which you need to show your past work, then please make it easy for them to see what you've done. Industry professionals go through hundreds, if not thousands of portfolios a day. So if you don't have one, or if it's even slightly off, it puts you at a disadvantage against the other people you're going up against. So it doesn't matter what college you've been to, or you've worked with this creator or that director. I just want to see what you've got. So please show me your past works and just grab my attention from the get-go. Wait, you drew this? Wow, this is awesome. And it's so detailed. Nice. That's why I'm proud to have partnered up with Wix to show you guys how to build a good portfolio. But don't worry, after that, I'll share some of my silly stories when it comes to collab requests, and I'll explain in detail how to collab with your favorite YouTubers, and even myself. If you don't know what Wix is, it's a website building platform that you can use to create your own professional page, just like I'm about to show you. It's pretty dope, giving you a quick centralized location with plenty of templates to build your own personal brand, or even a sick portfolio. It's got a bunch of extra tools like marketing, monitoring traffic, and their own coding platform, but ultimately, it's a professional platform that gives you total freedom to showcase your creativity. So let's make the portfolio that I'll name Maaz's portfolio. wholesome.com. This is mainly to show you guys what I was looking for when people applied to work with me. So whether you're an animator, colorist, background artist, storyboarder, editor, or whatever, showcasing a variety of works in subcategories makes it really easy to look through. And having a best or most reputable piece of work at the very top is the best way to grab people's attention. And there you go. Nice, simple, and to the point. What else would you need? The website was done in no time. I mean, we can all agree that this looks significantly better than just attaching it to your email. Because most, if not all of the new team members that I recently hired had their work on online portfolios just like this. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to wix.com/go/Maaz to create your own professional website. Okay, now that you've got a really cool, swanky portfolio, it's time to write a professional email. Whoa there. You were just about to do another boo-boo. You almost sent it off with some rude comments about my background artist, saying something like, I think I'd be a good fit because your backgrounds don't seem too hard to draw. Please don't say those sort of messages in a professional email. That sort of thing shows an underlying negative, undesirable personality trait that nobody wants in a work environment, and therefore you will not get hired. Well, I can see how this one might be a little too simplistic. The best kind of emails that I got were short, sweet, and to the point. And here's a great example of an email. And you can pause it to read for yourself, but here's how they heard about it, here's their relevant work experience and how it relates to me, here are other skills that they have, and here's their portfolio with all of their previous works. Mwah, beautiful. And guess what? I hired her. Say hi. Okay, so I'll show you one more email before I talk about collabs. But this one is probably my favorite email so far. This dude, man, I don't even know if I got played or if I'm impressed because he presented himself as an absolute art curator. Ah yes, as you can see, I have provided a simple colored background, which I have made deliberately not too colorful nor complex, as I do not want to distract the viewer from the characters, who should remain as the sole focus of the video. Dang, you really nailed it. Wow, this is so profound. I totally see your point. Let me just hang this up right here. And if y'all thought people were being unprofessional when asking for a job, just you wait until you hear about the collabs. Can we collab? Can we collab? Can we collab? Can we collab? I love you. I want to collab with me. Have my baby. Now, honestly, I actually don't mind doing as many collabs as I get. I firmly believe that if you're a smaller creator and you're trying your best on YouTube and you have a good idea that I'd be a decent fit for, then of course I'd love to get involved. Okay, now I want you to replay what I just said and listen to it very carefully before y'all go and spam me to collab with you. Which is useless because I know you've already pressed send. You quick sons of... When somebody just randomly asks to collab with me and nothing else, it gives me no reason to say yes. I don't know who you are, what you want to do, or even what kind of videos you make. What if you make anime reviews? So when you're sending across a collab request, please do the basics, introduce yourself, send your channel link, and attach a script as to what you want me to say. All of this shows me that not only are you being respectful of my time, but also have given thought about what you want me specifically to do. Don't think you can get away with copy-pasting collabs to multiple animators. Because, okay, listen, come here, getting close. It may come across as a surprise to you, but animators talk to each other. What? People have asked me before to get involved in their very first video. And as touched as I am that you want me to taint your videos like that, I don't think it's really that helpful. You need to get into YouTube because you want to make videos. You can't go into it wanting just big subscriber count, numbers, or money. Because if you do that, you're absolutely, most definitely on the pathway towards self-esteem issues and burnout. And that's a no-no. That's why I've only been working with channels that have at least 5 high-effort videos uploaded, so that I'm sure that they'll continue to create content in the future. If you show me that you care, then I'd love to help out by collabing and providing voices in your videos. So that'll be $80. Now, again, personally, I juggle multiple videos and commitments at the same time. So please, don't send entire pages of audio to record. Don't make us say stuff that we're not comfortable with. And, oh boy, if you're the type of person to send a collab request and then spam them every hour afterwards to see if it's done or not, Oh hey, yeah, it's Maaz. Do you take requests on murder by any chance? Look, I don't want to seem like I'm somehow unapproachable when it comes to collabs. I know that it's nerve-wracking and awkward to ask somebody to help you out with your own video, especially if you genuinely like their content. My point in telling these stories is not to shame anybody, but I just wanted to highlight the basic principles. Be respectful and asking, have a baseline on your own channel, and then do it for the right reasons. And if you follow these simple pointers, then I'm sure everything will work out a-okay.
Thanks for the voice line.
Alright. In the end, I just hope that I've managed to help you out in sending collabs or job requests with this video. Alright, laters, and stay aMAAZing. Oh. I can already tell that after this video, I'm definitely going to be bombarded with collab requests in my emails, DMs, and even the comments. I don't know what I expected, but you know what? I welcome the challenge with open arms. From this point on, I'll start grading each request, and if y'all get anything less than a B, then you'll forever be considered a fake fan and your subscription will be revoked. Memes aside, remember to be respectful and stay aMAAZing.
Doctor, please help. It's about my son.
Okay, so what seems to be the problem, ma'am?
Here, I brought him in. See for yourself.
Hit or miss, I get to miss, huh? What about Teresa? What about Teresa? What about Winston?
Look, boys, I'm bad, girl. He was completely fine until he started using this app called TikTok. And then he became like this, and I'm just not sure what's happened to him.
Cancer.
Wait, what?
Yo, honestly, F in the chat, because he's going to die tomorrow. And I've got the Avengers lined up and everything.
So? Oh, Lid.
Hi, my name is Maaz, and I've somehow gotten famous on TikTok.
Oh my god, he's gonna die.
For those of you who have no idea about what I'm talking about, TikTok is an app that uses music and audio clips to create really short videos, ranging from memes, cute pets, animations, dances, new religions, skits, anything really. And it's really funny because TikTok, as, most memes do, started off super ironic, with the first few videos that I found being the ironic duets of other TikToks. But now, I think after a few months, TikTok is feeling like our weird stepdad who we're slowly but surely beginning to accept after Vine left us a few years ago.
Oh, wow! That is relatable!
With all that, you might be wondering, Maaz, how did you go from this?
Oh man, I can't believe people like this stuff.
To this? Well, it's no secret that I'm a bit of a meme, a mad lad, a goofy goober, if you will. I absolutely love jam-packing in a bunch of Easter eggs and references and inside jokes for every video I make. And the video about me getting stuck in the friend zone was no exception. At the time, this TikTok trend of having good boys and bad girls was all the rage on Twitter. So much so that I thought it would be really funny to spoof it and then put it in my stuck in the friend zone video. So, as any meme connoisseur would do, I got dressed in some of my finest casual clothes, combed my hair to an impeccable standard, put on my makeup, and proceeded to lay down in my bathtub eating spoonfuls of ice cream whilst making a TikTok. And that was supposed to be it, it was just a temporary, one-off joke for my animation. I swear, I promise. But then one day, I was in a voice chat with a bunch of mates, and we were discussing the latest trends on Twitter. One of which was the meme where Adele sings,
"Never mind, I'll find someone like you."
But then my friend chimes in and says, "Yo, Maaz, why don't you do that, but instead of people, you do storytime animators?" And listen, being the impulsive little boy that I am, I opened TikTok one more time and got started making this absolute masterpiece.
Oh man, that's good. Wow!
And it was at this point that I started to use TikTok regularly. Because I didn't really take the app itself super seriously, I was posting all of my TikToks on Twitter and Instagram. Essentially the social media that are outside of my YouTube channel. Subscribe and hit the bell button. But here's the thing. Some of the skits that I made on TikTok, like the one where I pretend to be a Jeet pie and the other one where my dad returns home after his 18-year quest to find milk, were really gaining traction, pulling in the same number of views as my YouTube videos. And I started forming an audience on TikTok. At the same time, some of the videos that I'd posted on Twitter, like the one where I found out that I'm adopted via Kahoot, was also blowing up, making it one of my most popular tweets. So it was a combination of both a natural TikTok boost and the fans who were jumping in from the other social media that really had me climbing in numbers. Ironically though, I can stop anytime I wanted to, It's not like it's serious or anything. That is until the famous Twitter page called Ironic TikToks, rest in peace, hit me up and said,
"AOB, can I post your TikToks? I can make you a star."
To which I was like,
"Guys, I'm TikTok famous. So of course, I said yes. And that ended up being another huge boost to my TikTok because I was racking in the likes, people were recognizing me on the ironic TikTok page, I was getting cheered on by my new fans, and my parents were only mildly disappointed in me. But it's okay. You know, they just don't understand that it's not a phase, Mom. It's not a phase. But then... Wait, what? I'm in a TikTok compilation? And then another, and another, and another, and another until I was getting tagged left and right because apparently some of my dumb little videos that I had made when I was like dead bored were good enough to be in multiple compilations which were all released around about the same time. Not only that, one of the compilations actually used my face in the thumbnail itself, which my real life friends saw and messaged me about. Yo, Maaz, what the heck? What are you doing in my TikTok compilation? Mate, what are you doing watching TikTok compilations in the first place? Okay, what now? Wait, Tara Bell Rose, the famous YouTuber and TikToker? Hey, Maaz, you want some of that connection, bro? I'll hook you up with that good inner circle of TikTok. Okay, pause. What are you on about? Inner circle of TikTok? Surely nobody is taking it that serious. Oh, yeah, no. People are taking it seriously. Tara, being an absolutely solid friend that she is, essentially threw my name up to the TikTok lords, and they deemed my stuff good enough to be added into a secret group of TikTok. And not only that, once they realized that I had a YouTube channel, they immediately handed me the golden verified badge, confirming my status as an official TikToker. So not only was I getting premium treatment on TikTok, but they started inviting people out to all these special private events. And I was like, why not? You know, it's not like I'm gonna turn into a storytime animation or anything. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And if all of that wasn't crazy enough, apparently TikTok is well connected to many of the up-and-coming artists. And because of that, I got sent a secret invitation to an aMAAZing meetup. And I was like, whoa, are you legit? Dude, I can't believe it. Are you serious? Yo! Who's aMAAZing? The actual event wasn't nearly anything to rave about, you know? She sang a few songs and quickly glanced at us during the meet and greet. But it was pretty cool to hang out with some of the TikTokers that I'd gotten acquainted with. And then I went to VidCon US. Now, that was an absolute blast, and I hope you watched some of the other recaps of it. But before I went, Alyssa hit me up and was like, AOB, y'all want an invite to a secret TikTok party? To which I responded, yes. So me, Alyssa, her brother, and Adam, we all break out from another party we were at, and we were like, yo, we're going to a TikTok party. Just so this could be the epic conclusion to my entire saga. And we get there, and there's a massive line, at least 2 hours of waiting long. And they're like, yeah, we're not staying here. We're gonna go. Bye. And so they quickly run away. So I was waiting in the line, you know, and I was pumping myself up like, yo, this is gonna be worth it. The epic finale. And then that's when I realized that I was using TikTok unironically. And as soon as I came to that realization, I immediately hopped at the line and started chasing after my friends going, wait for me, please, don't leave me behind. It sucks that I couldn't end my entire TikTok journey with a spicy conclusion, but man, the fact that I've gotten this far this quickly is absolutely insane to me. It's just been like a series of coincidences and meme magic that's resulted in my TikTok legitimately passing my Twitter and Instagram. Isn't that crazy? The social media platforms that I've been growing and fostering for almost 3 years has been passed by TikTok in a few months. I'm not mad. Please follow my Twitter and Instagram. All right, guys. All right. I decree it. It's time to face the music. Stop that right now. Stop it. All right, let's be honest with ourselves. I love TikTok memes, okay? We love TikTok memes. We stan TikTok, okay? Because honestly, TikTok is not nearly as bad as some people make it out to be. The main reason that I personally make content on TikTok is because sometimes with animation, it just takes a bit too long. You know, if I have something funny that I've written down, I'll have to wait something like a month until you guys see it, right? Whereas with TikTok, if I have a silly idea that makes me cackle, I can quickly shoot it and post it up within the same day. Making these short skits and memes has actually helped out stave off some of my own burnout and find enjoyment in making new forms of content all over again. Because once again, being honest here, I'm having a blast making both YouTube videos and TikTok content. I don't intend to stop them anytime soon. And if you wanted to watch some of my very questionable TikToks, I've made a compilation over on my second channel with almost all of the TikToks that I've made, even the ones that got taken down, because I'm a bit of a bad boy myself. As long as you're having a good old time, then stick with whatever you're doing, because you do you, even if it's not ironic anymore. Alright, and with that, laters everybody, and stay aMAAZing. I also wanted to mention, because I couldn't fit it into the script, but I got invited to like a secret Blackpink concert. They're like, yeah, if you're into TikTok, you might be able to get a VIP access to Blackpink. And I was just like, yo, holy moly, that would be such a good story. But then they didn't reply, so I guess it didn't happen. Oh, and I didn't mention this in my main video, but please go and follow my TikTok as well. I'm sure you're gonna have a good time. And with that, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next video. All right, laters everybody, and stay aMAAZing.
Hey, Andy.
Oh, hey.
Guess what?
What?
I ruined someone's marriage.
Yeah! Let's go!
Hi, my name is Maaz, and I'm going to be playing Never Have I Ever with Andy from Ice Cream Sandwich.
I'm Andy.
Andy, did you know? I heard if you say subscribe and like in the video, the buttons glow. Does it glow? Can you comment if it glows, chat? Because if it does, then subscribe. Like. So never have I ever ruined someone's relationship or marriage.
I don't like to play Cupid, so I don't jump into things like that.
Have you done anything to kind of just ruin their day, maybe?
I generally stay out of people's business.
Andy, you are such a good person. Like, you...
Maybe I am perfect. You know what? Yeah, maybe I'm great.
I wrote this down because I thought you would also maybe not be as good of a person, and and you're just like, no, I'm a very well-adjusted, normal person. So there was this one moment in which I got invited to a birthday party at this really fancy restaurant where we walk in, and it's like stereotypical movie, right? Chandeliers, 1,000 thread count silk cloth. The waiting staff were all in like tuxedos. Like, it was crazy, and all of that was like way too high class for me. I am like middle class to the T, right? And so as we're sitting there, I'm sitting at the end of the table, and I can hear behind me, there's a couple that's just like, oh my God, we tied the knot, like married life is gonna be crazy. And I was like, oh, cringe.
Love you.
And so later on in the party, they're like, all right, let's stand up to kind of say happy birthday. And I, unfortunately, stood up a bit too quickly, and the really fancy silk cloth that was everywhere got caught on my chair, and it just started tipping backwards. It was in slow motion. I could see it falling, and I knew that it was gonna cause trouble. And I looked back, and I was like, man, this is gonna make such a good video. And so so if it fell on the floor, it would have been fine, but it fell on the ice tray, and it had all this fancy ice. But what I didn't think about was underneath that, they had a mechanism to collect the water. So it was just essentially a huge bucket of water, and the chair tipped onto that, which tipped like a domino, and it completely drenched the couple that was sitting right behind us. And I turn around, it was a guy in a wedding suit, and the girl was basically wearing a wedding dress, and they were completely doused. Just completely. And she just starts sobbing.
Oh, no.
She's bawling, makeup running down her face.
No.
And so the guy, very reasonably, was so upset. He was so mad at me. He started cursing, he started swearing. And this is the moment, Andy. This is the moment where I turned into a psychopath, where I look at him and I was like, well, unfortunately the water is now on you, and I can't really do anything about that. So I'm really sorry, but not much I can do. So I think I went too logical, too cold, too quickly, because I think that really just pissed him off way more. He got really inflamed. And like the waiters, to their credit, they swooped in the middle, and they were like, come here, we'll get you a new table, we'll replace everything in your meal. Like, they really covered 100%. I definitely ruined that date. This is a story that they're gonna tell about this random YouTube kid who just doused them in the water, and I was not a nice guy.
You cold bitch. So, like, douse somebody, I mean, by accident for sure, but then turn to them and be like, tough nuts, dude, is crazy.
The worst part is, like, you've seen me. I'm not usually that cold. Like, I think of myself as someone who's able to carry themselves socially. But I don't know what happened. I was so scared that I froze up, and I just, like, detached completely. I was like, man, sucks to suck, man. Never have I ever missed a flight.
I have never. I've never missed a flight. I am punctual. I am on time. That's actually not true. That's very not true.
I was going to say that is out of branding. That is not true.
That is not true at all. Surprisingly, I've never missed a flight. If there was one time, it was really close, but it was just the airline's fault.
Okay, so it's everyone's fault but your own.
That is correct. Usually when things go wrong,
It's not my fault.
I love being punctual to flights. I come early if possible, except when I don't. So I get pretty antsy about checking in even a day or two early. Before the flight, you gotta check in, make sure everything's ready to go. There was one day in particular, I just didn't do that. I don't know what went through my head, just didn't do it. And then I went to the airport, to the front desk to drop my baggage, and they're like, oh, you haven't checked in, and it's like within 45 minutes, and so we're not gonna check you in.
What?
And I was like, I just need to get on the plane, and you know I'm right here. I am physically here now.
Yeah.
And they're like, look, you know, you just didn't make the check-in time. You can't go.
What?
I was like, literally, the plane is, I can see the plane, and it hasn't started boarding yet.
Yeah.
Why would you stop me? I am going to call her out. Paula, I remember your name. I got traumatized by this. But I remember her turning to me and was just like, there is no world in which you are getting on this plane today. Like, she said that.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That is an insane thing to say.
And then I murdered her. No, sorry. So, in my mind, it didn't make any reasonable sense. The plane is there. Yes, I haven't checked in, but there should be no barriers for me to get on. And so I just went through security, went to the gate, which had not started boarding yet. And then I went up to the front desk right in front of the gate, and they were like, oh, you haven't checked in. I was like, oh, really? That's weird. And they're like, okay, it's okay. We checked you in. Here's your boarding pass.
Let's go.
As I was leaving the plane, I remember just looking out the window and like, watching the airport get smaller and be like, Paula, screw you. Like, I got on. Like,
Yeah, eat that, Paula.
here I am.
That's fantastic. Like, she must have had just some kind of like vendetta. Like, I just want to ruin somebody's day. People board late all the time. Like, they get to the airport and they're like super late. They get through security and then like everybody's already boarded, run up, they're all sweaty, and they get on the plane. It's fine. To like stonewall you before the plane even is boarding is, I've never heard of that. She must have had just like a vendetta for you.
Never have I ever gotten injured. There's this one story I was gonna make, and I was like, no one would care about me getting hurt. And then I saw everyone making videos about them getting hurt. I'm like, oh,
They love it.
essentially there was like a moment in time where I was really into parkour.
I remember that. I remember the parkour era.
I was definitely in it. Imagine a dumb 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid running around thinking he's doing parkour. But I know for a fact if I was to just like put a camera to that period of time, I was just running, right?
It's like, kind of like touching a wall, like,
And so what was funny is like we all did that for a long time. And then one day, a few years later, I was outside on a balcony of a house. Out of nowhere, I just turned to my friends and was like, hey, should I jump off? And everyone's like, oh, yeah, let's do that. And so I jumped off the balcony.
oh my god.
And so as I did that, I realized mid-air that there was 3 things that were different here. One was not wearing shoes, just didn't have any sort of footwear.
Oh.
Secondarily, was not jumping on grass like I usually do. It was concrete.
Oh my god, Maaz.
Lastly, I was a lot bigger and did not remember to tuck in my knees. So it was like, okay guys, watch this.
Oh my god.
Oh no. I look up and I'm like expecting my friends to do the same. But very reasonably, they're just like, let's not do that.
Yeah. Did you break anything?
So I sprained both feet.
That's insane. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That nothing was broken on concrete.
I think like my foot's a little bit deformed, but it's like it never broke.
Parkour. I was thinking about my parkour era. It also ended in injury, but not even close to what you did.
What do you mean? Like, what do you do?
More or less started and ended in the same day. So I would like watch a lot of videos. I'm like, this is so cool. You could get anywhere and escape anyone. Though I had no plans to escape whatever. I spent a lot of my time.
What were you escaping from, Andy?
Nothing.
Like,
Absolutely. Like 0 things. Like, but like in my brain, I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to like run, I guess, with style. And so like I was watching all these videos. I'm like, this is so cool. And eventually I looked up tutorials, and a big staple of parkour is to like roll into something. You have to like lead with your shoulder and then roll effectively. And so like I had like a little rug on my room that I would like practice on, and I would lead with my shoulder, and I did pretty well. And I was like doing that and like for a couple of hours, and I got kind of good at it. But then one of the times I messed up a little bit, I led with my shoulder and landed dead on my shoulder. It hurt really bad, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I stopped. That's it. I'm not really tough. I'm not a tough guy. And you know what? Hearing your story kind of makes me glad.
you didn't continue? Yeah, okay. I'm glad that my pain helped other people. Never have I ever used a fake ID or a fake badge.
It's just anything?
For anything.
I am an honest and law-abiding citizen. I do not break rules.
That's crazy. Really, never?
No, not to get into places I shouldn't be, not to get substances I shouldn't have. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how to acquire that kind of thing.
You just draw one, Andy. You just draw one.
Just here you go, sir.
I guess, like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, as a non-American person, but is it not like a rite of passage to get like a fake ID to acquire certain substances, or is that?
Yeah,
not?
I wouldn't say rite of passage, but I would say it's like not unheard of.
Right.
I think if somebody has a fake ID, it's definitely not like a, it's like a, oh, okay, you're around that age. It's like, I'm not surprised.
That's great. I'm so happy that you're so law-abiding.
Yeah.
I definitely am as well. So that's great to hear.
Our slates are clean.
Our states are so clean. Hypothetically.
Why'd you say that? It's so suspicious.
I feel like I'm like learning the hard way that everybody I get on to talk to is a much better person than I am. Like, this is concerning for me.
Yeah.
I'm also a law-abiding citizen. I just want to get that out. Ignore the previous video in which I said I wasn't.
I don't do well with authority, and I get all like, when people are like, what'd you do? Even if I didn't do anything wrong. My nervous system gets all freaked out. I feel bad. And like, even with security, it's like, you're not a real like enforcer of the law. Like, whatever. You can walk away. You can't detain me. It's illegal.
Would you do that? I have a feeling you wouldn't do that.
But I wouldn't.
Though.
I don't have the, no.
Yeah.
I would just be like, I'm sorry.
I would be shocked if I was with you and you were like, hey, you can't detain us. You're not real.
I know my rights.
I don't know my rights. He does.
No, I think I like certainty. If I can get away with something, if I was more certain and it's like harmless and it's really not like taking away from somebody else's experience. That's my big line, is that like if it's at the expense of somebody else.
So if you didn't get caught, you would take it.
Yeah.
Get him, officer! Get him!
No!
Now, Andy, I'd love to tell you about how I faked convention badges, or about my parents' reaction to jumping off a balcony, and then you can tell me about how you nearly broke your knees.
Hardcore.
All of these stories and even more high-quality content are available for all of you to watch over on Nebula, the premium streaming service and the sponsor for this video. Nebula is an independent, creator-led streaming platform that hosts some of the highest quality content out there on the internet. This is the platform that really pushes creators to make new, ambitious, exciting content for all of you to watch. I have always been open about the fact that my popular Mafia series was only created with the support provided by Nebula. And if you wanted to watch an extended on-camera version of the previous Mafia rounds, they're up exclusively on Nebula. Along with that, you can watch all of my videos earlier and ad-free over on Nebula, as they'll be uploaded there on Nebula first. So, hypothetically, if I were to have another Mafia video with a new animator, it would be on Nebula first before anywhere else. And no, it's not just my content. You'll also get access to some phenomenal exclusive shows on Nebula, such as Let's Play Outside by my friend TheAMaazing. It's a show that simulates gaming live streams about fascinating and terrifying creatures. I've watched one about like the mantis pit. It's an insect that has features from both a mantis and a wasp. Yes, it is just as horrifying as it sounds. To watch everything that I've just mentioned and so much more, use my link nebula.tv/TheAMaazing, spelt just like this, to get 40% off the annual rate, which is half of what you would have to pay monthly anyway. This is a massive steal for a great service, so once again, head on over to nebula.tv/TheAMaazing or click on the link in the description below for 40% off the annual rate. Thank you again, Nebula, for always supporting TheAMaazing, and thank you also to my patrons and channel members. Alright, Andy, thank you so much for joining me for this video.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Good content. Yup, I got engaged, and it wasn't to James. Or was it? So how did I meet the love of my life? Who is she? How did my proposal go horribly wrong? Why are you asking so many questions? Just stick around and watch the video, goddamn. Despite getting engaged, then married, and now being a husband, I think the internet has forever ruined my ability to call her my wife, so I'm gonna have to give her a fake name. Let's stick with name. Now, I know there's a dynamic between us where you expect me to share my personal life stories on YouTube. Don't know where you got that idea from, to be honest, but you'd probably be surprised to hear that I'm in a relationship at all, let alone married to someone. I think because of the previous stalker incident, I didn't want to bring name to any potential for harm, or have her judge me. I promise, this doesn't usually happen. There's also a bit of religious and cultural context that I'm gonna gloss over. A cool part of how we met up was through an arranged marriage process, which in very simplistic terms are the parents acting as matchmakers, which was super common in the Pakistani and Islamic circles. I think Netflix even made a show about this. Compromise. But I'll talk about the arranged marriage process, my experience with it, and some embarrassing stories for a future video. For now, I want to focus on Naeem and I, so for all intents and purposes, we didn't have to do any of the work and we found each other. What are the chances? In a previous video, I alluded to there being another reason as to why I quit doing YouTube. And now that reason has a ring on her finger. Because during the most stressful period of my life, dealing with the regular hospital work, the crushing medical exam, creating content with a full team, and now being introduced to the old ball and chain, something had to give. It was YouTube. YouTube had to give. Now, if I were to summarize the dynamic between Naeem and I, it would be a friendship between a golden retriever and a chihuahua. I'm enthusiastic, vibing, happy to be alive, and she's small, runs circles around me, and is non-stop yapping away. If you think I'm joking around, Naeem herself identifies as a chihuahua and is absolutely obsessed with chihuahuas. I don't know whether or not that's a green or red flag. Make of that what you will. What was immediately different about Naeem from the other people was just how easy it was to talk to her. She's way more extroverted than I am, and an amazing conversationalist, somehow weaving through everyone's discussions effortlessly. This worked perfectly because I'm also a chatterbox, so during our very first conversation, even though I was really shy, she broke the ice so casually and we ended up talking for hours on end. I think I genuinely woke up and said out loud, "She can't be real." And honestly, I'm still not sure to this day. One of my favorite things that she would spring up were her hypotheticals, especially the classic worm scenario. Would you love me if I was a worm? Now bear in mind that I take these sorts of things very seriously, so I had to respond with 100% Maaz brain power. It depends. Am I turning into a worm with you? Are we worm-sized or is this human-sized worms? Also, if I was to chop you in half, do I now have 2 worm versions of you? And we would just yap on about that for hours. For the record, we determined that if only Naeem were to turn into a worm, I would keep her in a jar with a spinach plant for her to grow, drop pieces of watermelon, her favorite fruit, and intermittently sprinkle water for both of them. But if we both turned into worms, we'd live out our worm lives together. Unless she saw a worm with a cool leather jacket, then all bets are off. And honestly, valid. There is so much scope for worm discussion. I've always thought of myself as extroverted and decent at connecting to people, but watching how Naeem managed to hold a conversation with others effortlessly was extraordinary. I was just happy to let her talk whilst I sat there, listening intently even from day one. And even now, I always invite her to tell me about her day first. Always. And it's not to say that we're similar in every way. I'd argue that our differences were more critical in defining our relationship more than anything else. We just lived our lives totally differently. I'm this type A, hyper-efficient, creative nerd who's putting either 0% or 100% into whatever I do. And yes, I'm a weeb, okay? Sue me. Whereas Naeem is a lawyer, poetry writer, loves cats, has an aesthetic Tumblr. So she's this type B, patient, mellow bookworm who has countlessly started and dropped shows, games, and movies because she's just chill like that. Much to my concern. Seriously, are we ever gonna finish the show? A good example of the differences between us is when it comes to gaming. She's what they call a cozy gamer, playing less intense games than what you'd typically think of. So one day, Naeem is telling me all about the new game that she's gotten into, Stardew Valley. She's going on about enjoying the farm, getting to know the townspeople, and she really wanted me to try it out. Oh, bless her heart, because she clearly did not know about the spreadsheet that I was capable of. Because in 2 days, I had grinded out the most optimal spacing for all my plants each season, gotten all the upgrades that I could, slept at 1:59 to min-max waking, caught the legendary fish, memorized the entire wiki, and she stopped playing because I had sucked all the fun out of the game. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm not the one who sold the blueberries in the least profitable season, babe. You need to know these things. It's inefficient. But watching her be so calm and patient despite everything that was happening around her, it changed something in me. I have a tendency to push myself, trying to maximize efficiency in all aspects, putting pressure despite how much I was already doing. But with her example, I get reminded to ease off a little, to stop, take a breath, and just enjoy life. Something that Naeem continues to exemplify. Something else that surprised me about Naeem is that she's also an avid Google review user. I found out about it when I was looking up a place she raved about, and as I read the reviews, I had a spiritual awakening. Wait, what? Naeem? Is this you? Did you know that you can level up on Google reviews? Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Because of her posting hundreds of Google reviews, she had become a certified Google review guide, and she flaunts it whenever she can. She's very proud of her status. So what you're telling me is that I was out catching Dialga in Pokemon Go to the polls, and she was out here becoming a professional opinion haver? Oh, and that's the other thing. Because she's so nice, she always felt bad about leaving a negative review, even if she had a horrible experience there. She told me that it's because she felt bad for the people who were trying hard and that maybe they had a bad day or whatever. So the minimum score that she would give was 4 stars, which is crazy given how proud she is of her certified status, and yet they could literally turn her into a worm, serve her toilet water, and she'd somehow still give them 4 stars. Name wanting to leave positive reviews though has way more to it than what meets the eye. It's her giving the benefit of the doubt to perfect strangers, an extension of her tremendous empathy. She's always thinking about how the other person's feeling, and that's one of my favorite things about her. Because by simply being around Name, I've learned to become a kinder person myself. And just as things seemed to be going well, my good friend Life popped out of the blue and decided, "Wow, happy to see you're having such a good time, Maaz. You know what would be really cool? If I was to just fuck things up. Let's throw a curveball and ruin your budding romance. Yippee!" Because Name started to ask for my social media, and that's when I realized that I was cooked. I'm really bad with social media, and I don't even have a personal one. I just have the TheAMaazing account, which you can go and follow if you want. But how was I supposed to tell a cute new girl that I made videos online? Oh yeah, my socials. Here, I've got a few 100,000 million views. How is that supposed to work? No, don't click that one. But I knew, with how much I was starting to like Name, that the best way forward was to be honest. I wanted to take this relationship seriously, so I just told her about TheAMaazing early on. How I started, my entire YouTube journey, how I was still juggling medicine with it, which ended up being a massive green flag because Name had already stalked me on socials and found out about TheAMaazing. Oops. And that's why you never underestimate a woman's ability to find anything online. What did he even search up? Wait, is that Opera? You are perfect. Opera is a super slick web browser that I like using for both YouTube and efficiently studying in medicine with their super nifty features. Chief among them are their tab islands, which lets you group by context like YouTube, shopping, news articles, whilst also allowing you to organize web pages however you like. These islands can then be moved, expanded, or tucked away however you need. That's how Name organized her investigation on me. If you somehow still manage to lose which page you were just on, then you're in luck with tab traces, which underlines your recently used tabs. The darker the underline, the more recent the tab. Wait, what's going on here? Your productivity will also boom with Opera's native split screen feature, which allows you to open 2 pages in the same browser window by dragging a tab downwards. That's literally it. It's that simple. I use this feature all the time when I'm studying, one side with a lecture I'm watching and the other with a journal article to multitask. So this gets a strong vouch from me. Have a great question but don't want to open extra tabs? Access Opera's built-in AI tool Aria by hitting a quick shortcut and bringing up the command line. And Aria can answer your questions without losing your place on the page. Aria also allows you to close, group, pin, or save your tabs as bookmarks. Just tell it whatever you want to do without affecting your flow. With all those features, why not give Opera a try? You can get it right now by clicking on the link in the description or pinned comment below. Genuinely thank you, Opera, for continuing to support my channel, and let's get back to why Name knowing about TheAMaazing mattered. Name being cool with my online presence was such a surprise to me. Often within Pakistani and Islamic circles, this entire YouTube thing is frowned upon and people tend to be less accepting of it. Even outside of that circle, to be honest, people are not as understanding as you'd expect. Something about influencers having the worst reputation for being scumbags. So having this girl not only be cool with it, but supportive of it, meant a lot to me. Unfortunately though, as the conversations continued and things got more serious, I'd come to realize that a pressing issue awaited me. I had no riz. I was rizless, not an ounce of aura. I had never been in a super serious relationship before, so I was extremely nervous. Voice choking up, palms sweaty, mom spaghetti, and I'm gonna be 100% real with you right now. As we continue to talk, I unironically Googled how to make a Pakistani girl like me. I'm so embarrassed. I just wanted the pretty and supportive and cool and sweet girl to like me. And the thing is, the reason I Googled Pakistani in particular is because I've never really given much thought about culture long term. I thought that as long as my future partner and I were on the same page about faith, I'd be okay with whatever background that they were from. All of that flipped on its head, however, when she started to speak to me in my native language of Urdu. It immediately affirmed that she'd be able to understand even the minute cultural aspects of my life, that there wouldn't be any barriers to visiting family around the world, that we could celebrate cultural festivities like Eid together. And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely felt a pang in my chest when she did that. So time passed, and because things were going really well, we ended up getting Islamically married. This is often paired with the actual ceremony itself, but in our case we did this separately due to our work and family schedules. So although we hadn't had the big wedding yet, to simplify things again, it allowed us to hang out together without having friends or family around anymore. So that was huge. Despite that though, I really wanted to impress Naeem with a great proposal, something that she could fondly look back on for a long time. Forever, in fact, because that was the goal. I want to be with her forever and ever. My idea was to hire a small venue and refurbish it into a weird artwork exhibit, which slowly morphed into more of a museum of our memories. I went all out, printing out photos of things we both cared about, bought gag gifts like an Omnitrix because she hated my Apple Watch, and I even planned to have this looping gif of us that I commissioned by the ever so talented Artsy V. I coordinated between multiple vendors in the venue to line things up over months, not holding back on getting everything printed, painted, stitched, bought, taped, and refurbished. It was ready to be the most special experience I could set up for my future wife, the most special woman I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. And with everything ready to go, all I had to do was bring Naeem and... The venue got flooded. And although none of the items were impacted, this literally rained on my parade. Damn you, rain! Don't you see I'm trying to tie the knot over here? Give a man a break! As I was increasingly starting to panic, my friend Alex saved the proposal with her suggestion. Have an outdoor picnic in a romantic location and show off all your items that way. This was a stroke of genius because of how well all the pieces fit together. Instantly, I knew where to take her. The gift that you saw earlier was based off an actual place that means a lot to Naeem and I. The Outlook. Besides the museum, there was nowhere else that I could have imagined proposing to her. It was perfect. However, because of my own neuroticness, I realized there was already a bit of a hurdle. If I were to take Naeem to the same place that we usually hang out at, with a giant outdoor picnic ready to go, around the same time that she knew I wanted to propose, she would figure it all out. So I had to use the most powerful ability that works every single time. Gaslight. So my solution was to have two of my friends sit down with disguises and pretend they were on a date on the picnic, so that when Naeem and I eventually walked up to the Outlook, she wouldn't think too much of the date that was going on. And when I finally got done proposing, they'd leave us alone to enjoy the picnic for ourselves. It was genius. I love lying in the name of love. So when it was finally time, I kept pushing Naeem away from the picnic area because she kept looking at my friends weird, gears turning in her head with recognition creeping into her eyes. Were her eyes always so sparkly? Okay, pay attention. Okay, what's next? Right, stage a photo and have her facing away from me. Gosh, she looks gorgeous in the moonlight. Focus, Maaz. Doesn't help that I've got an audience watching me do this. Crap, is the ring in my left pocket or my right pocket? Which knee should I bend down on? Have I taken a breath yet? It's been a minute. Okay. Oh gosh, Maaz, breathe! Breathe, Maaz, breathe! What's taking so long? And that's the moment where all my nervousness all coalesced into one point and disappeared. The scene of Naeem silhouetted against the starry night, her hair blowing in the wind, the city below us. It was mesmerizing. She was mesmerizing. Despite having a type A personality, trying to account for every variable, being uncertain about so many things, I've never been more clear about anything else in my life. Naeem was the only person written for me. I was, and still am, so sure of this. Yes! 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 Congratulations! Oh my god! I knew I recognized you! She said yes! Oh my gosh, I was so nervous, but also I was still ecstatic that she did because she's so amazing and I adore her so much. So we walked over to the picnic. I booted out my friend, sorry and thank you for helping guys, and showed her everything that I had prepared for the museum to be, which she absolutely cherished. Now for anyone planning a proposal like mine, which not to brag has 100% success rate, take notes. I made sure that on the same day that I was planning the proposal, that she also had a manicure already booked in, so that her hands were ready for the inevitable photos that she was gonna take. Why yes, I will accept the Best Partner Award. Hold your applause. Also, can I just say, it is insane how well this entire Scooby-Doo ass plan went. I was so nervous that she would be able to figure it out. And Name did look for ages before turning around and saying, man, if only you set up surprise picnics for me like that. You fool! I already have! Don't you look like an idiot now? Will you marry me? Now don't even get me started on the wedding, but I think I'll save that for another video. Thank you for everyone who supports me via Patreon or fan art, and I'll see you guys in my next video about my wedding. Laters, and stay aMAAZing. Order in the court. James, you need help. TikTok is so bad for you, dude.
Excuse me?
Your Honor, arrest this man. Arrest this guy. It's like that scene from the Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Send him to the principal's office and have him expelled.
And the Vine Boom sound effect plays
10 times. Thanks, Zaid. Hi, my name is Maaz, and welcome back to TikTok Court. This is a sequel to the video James and I made over on The Odd Twos Out, where I gushed about how much I love TikTok and argued against James, a certified hater. Now, not to spoil the video, but after showing him some quality TikToks, I managed to convince him to make his own account. And then he got more followers than me. But here's the plot twist. Over the years, James became more and more obsessed with TikTok and now regularly doom scrolls, whereas I was horrified about what was happening with TikTok, and now I'm the certified hater. The roles have been reversed, so now it's time for our long overdue argument, where we compare TikToks to prove our points and then decide who's in the right. You guys are the real judges, so make sure to comment on who you agree with. And now,
no longer like TikTok anymore? Is that, I think that's what people are saying?
let it be known, I fucking hate TikTok, okay? Let me just start off by saying I used to love TikTok. I used to be the biggest fan of it. You can watch the previous episode. Things have changed on TikTok.
Can you give me a list of like what has changed? Like what are the top 3 changes?
The content itself has become very formulaic. The actual impact that TikTok and shorts have on people's minds, so bad. It's terrible. The last thing is, I just find like it's not as funny anymore.
That might be a sign of age, but who's to say?
No, wait, I'm young. I'm still cool. Look at me. I've got like the denim jacket that says Maaz on it.
Oh, is it a VidCon jacket?
It is a VidCon jacket. But I went to VidCon US last time. James and I bought this matching milk and cookies necklace.
Oh, no.
Yeah, now James is panicking. Yeah, exactly. So I bought the milk and then James got the cookie. And then when I went over, I was like, James.
Your Honor, this is irrelevant from TikTok.
Before this video comes out, I'm gonna make a TikTok about this. The editor can put this in. Zayn, put this in. Why are you now addicted to TikTok? What's going on there?
Addicted to TikTok?
It's hearsay. Objection.
I forgot if I told you this little factor or something. I've had to set a timer on my phone. TikTok is only for 20 minutes. How much a week do you go on TikTok?
0. I
Zero.
hate TikTok.
You really hate TikTok.
I do not go on TikTok anymore.
Are you more of an Instagram Reels guy? I get it.
I don't use Instagram Reels. I do use YouTube Shorts. I will not lie. I won't lie. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm better. I'm not.
Here's something that I did for this video. Went through my TikTok likes, found myself in like a bunch of different categories of TikToks, right? First category is dogs. If you want to watch some dog TikToks, I got some dog TikToks.
Yeah, let's do it. Are you gonna share screen?
If I share my screen, that means you're gonna see something.
Oh my god, okay.
Look at this, dog friends with raccoon. This is my kind of TikTok.
Oh, that is so cute. Oh my god.
What do I like about TikTok? When else would I get to see a video of a dog making friends with the raccoons?
Okay, that's so cute. Okay. Your Honor, he may be cooking.
I guess this is gonna be a tiny window into my soul of like, this is what my TikTok page is looking like. What about you, Maaz?
Now I feel guilty. You can't just show me a cute dog and be like, Your Honor, here's a cute dog. I'm like, what? Come on, man.
He hates the cute dogs.
I don't have a problem with dog videos. I don't have a problem with that cute content in general. I think what my issue is, people have started to just like narrow down and hyper fixate on what works to get attention.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you've seen this, but it's like the TikToks in which you have speed running of a game on one half, slime cutting video on the second half.
Stim videos.
It is the definition of absolute filthy slop. Each of them gets like millions of views because people are entranced with the video.
There is a problem with those TikToks getting a million views.
Yeah.
It is someone here's fault, actually. And it's not your fault. And it's not my fault. It's your fault.
It's you.
You are the ones watching this slop. So then the slop does well, and then people go, oh, slop does well, I'll just make more slop.
Yeah.
I kind of get what you're saying, Maaz.
Slop. Just pointing at the audience. The audience just are crying through the screen. Put your food down.
You know what I do when I see a TikTok that I really don't like? One that makes me go, ugh, hit the little button that says not interested.
Oh, you actually do that?
Sometimes when I'm on my 20 minutes of TikTok a day, I'm like, haha, cute dog, haha, cute frog. And then it's a millennial dancing. There's no joke. Ugh, and then I like, not interested. Wait, do you have an example of some slop?
The onus is on Zayd to do this because I knew that if I started watching slop to find it for this video, that would be all I would see. It's something that everybody has definitely seen on TikTok, but to search for it, I was like, well, I actually can't find it.
You know what would be a fun experiment? If we like got on a incognito window, went on TikTok and just saw what like the first TikToks they recommend.
Let's do this at the end because that's a great idea. That's an awesome idea.
Do you want to know what I'm watching?
I do.
Look at this.
Don't blow out. Happy birthday. Shoot 'em.
The comedic timing is so good on that one.
That is so good.
I like want to watch it again.
Happy
Don't blow out.
birthday. Shoot 'em.
Like the hair blowing her hair back.
That comedic timing is just impeccable. If I got better TikToks that are more comedic, then that would be fine. Because the point that I'm making is like, TikTok is like not terrible. I'm not just gonna sit here and say that it's now the worst platform in the world. I'm just saying that the overall quality has definitely just gone so far down that it's not even comparable to what it used to be. But I'm sure that the people who are still making good content are still on the platform, so I'm sure that there is good ones here and there. I've got one to show you, James.
Okay.
Sultan sent me this, okay? And I just feel like this is relatable for you.
I'm already reading the caption and I'm like, all right.
You don't get it?
Maaz, you're gonna have to explain this one to me. What's
That's just so funny you don't get it. So like, I don't know if that's a green or red flag. It's swinging the light like how cats follow the light. So they're like swinging it around because they're the furry.
Not to like joke shame, but it should have been like a laser pointer or something, right?
But then what doctor is shining a laser into a patient's eye?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Show me another one, Maaz. No, it's just the alarm clock sound.
That's all it is. Like, this guy is giving it 110%, and it's just a Samsung audio. That's all it is.
Do you think that TikTok would have done good on Vine?
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Vine also felt different.
I don't think so, because Vine was like so short, 6 seconds. You had to be punchy. Watching the Vine compilations, I have no nostalgia at all, but they were so funny.
Especially in a short amount of time too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such a fumble. Like, the bag was fumbled so bad with Twitter closing it down. Not that Twitter has ever actually gotten the bag. They just fumble constantly in a row.
Let me ask you a TikTok related question.
James, how many people are in the room with you?
They're in my skin! Have you ever seen a TikTok or just come across a YouTube short where you're like, that person put in a lot of time into that and I'm gonna go check out their stuff. Wow, they have so many other creative things. I'm gonna give them a follow. Like, does that still happen?
I feel like TikTok shorts, Instagram reels, they succeed because you remove the choice aspect of it. You click on the platform and you get served whatever content the algorithm thinks you like. As a consequence though, I never had this inclination of, oh, I love this creator, I'm gonna support and click and watch them. I just scroll and keep going and keep going and keep going, you know?
See, no, that's exactly what happened to me. There was this account, took their pug on bike rides, and I would see it sometimes. And I'm like, you know what? I wanna see pugs and bike rides, so I followed them. I don't even know what their name is. I'm like, it's the pug and bike channel, you know?
Because of that, I feel like TikTok creators are no longer being as recognizable, more so for their content. When VidCon pivoted to having TikTok as the primary video creator and had TikTokers doing meet and greets, I think it's been very well established now that there was like nobody in those lines.
It's so weird though, because they have the numbers though, right?
There was people who had like multiple million followers on TikTok, and when it came to people showing up, no one did, like 1 or 2 max. But I think when you have a platform platform that removes the ability for creators to build this loyal fan base, it makes it really hard to go out of that platform. Notice how a lot of the big TikTokers, they've pivoted to other platforms straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
TikTok economy is bad, like the money that they give is bad. That's one of the reasons why I moved to YouTube Shorts.
This isn't an attack on TikTok. This is a promotion for YouTube Shorts.
No,
As a doctor,
Your Honor.
you recommend YouTube Shorts. Is that what I'm hearing?
I prescribe 10 YouTube Shorts.
YouTube Short definitely still have the stim videos.
People hacking into people's attention is always going to be a thing, regardless of shorts, long form, streaming, etc. Right?
Hacking into their attention. Oh, that's a good way of putting it. You know what I noticed about the slop? They still take forever to get to the point.
Yes.
I've gotten YouTube slop for like animation. Like these animators worked on Lilo and Stitch and they had a secret hack. You know, animation takes a long time, but in these animators, they did something crazy. Let me tell you what they did. I'm gonna tell you what they did right now. It's like, I want to bring it back to the stim videos.
Okay.
Because I found one where I think the stim video actually adds to it.
Yeah, I was at the race. I saw him at the race where he broke off.
And it just goes on like that for like over a minute.
Okay, but that's not even a stim video. That's
a satire on traditional stim videos.
Yes, it's a satire. It's ironic. That's absolutely up my alley. That is so funny. You know what? Maybe you've turned me around. You've turned me around.
One of my sections for TikToks that I was picking out, TikToks to send to the partner.
Like, what would you send to your partner?
Wait.
I love the goose. Ooh.
That's Goose Rave.
They do not care at all, dude. That's so crazy. I want to watch more. I want to watch more of the other one. What the That frog is blazed, bro. Like, that guy is gone.
It's just a vibe, dude.
I'm curious then, if you've got like all this love for it, why did you put a limit on it? You said you had like a 20-minute timer or something like that?
I would go on it for too long, and it got to a point where I was like, yeah, it's another picture of a frog, another picture of a dog.
Did you find yourself spending too much time? Like, you just like lost yourself completely?
Yeah, that was very easy to do. Just endlessly scroll, you know?
I think people intuitively know that TikTok is very bad for their attention span. There was a really interesting study when they asked a lot of the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, millennials of which platform that they were least satisfied with. Number one answer was TikTok, and about like 50 to 60% from memory said that they were not happy with TikTok as a platform.
Wow.
But what's also interesting is on that list of satisfaction, they were very satisfied with YouTube as a platform. Does that surprise you at all?
I'm not surprised that you're shilling out for YouTube again, but...
This video is sponsored by YouTube. They found that the people who spent more time on YouTube Shorts, Reels, TikToks, like the short form content that was given to you, had a much higher rate of having ADD-like symptoms, like not specifically ADHD, inability to focus on tasks, demotivating quickly, difficulty with maintaining focus. When you've got an option on your phone that will give you instant dopamine, it gets really hard to convince yourself, oh, if I do this homework that's due in 2 weeks, I'll be really happy. But in the long term, like, it's hard for you to equate that.
I want the dopamine now.
Exactly. There was this Reddit thread that I found. Hey guys, do you know of any songs that are must listens? Like, I just find myself skipping songs. We were having that discussion about albums. Like, which album is like, has no skips? Now people are saying which songs have no skips. That is a 3-minute commitment that you are not able to make. That is crazy. When I was really into short form content and TikTok and stuff, 2 minutes into a conversation, someone's pouring their heart out, I would start tuning out.
Oh.
That's when I had this like moment. I was, oh my God, I need to stop watching TikTok. Like, it's actually ruining my ability to be a functional human.
When you quit TikTok, you're missing out on some really big bangers.
That is insane. Oh my God. I don't even know what you needed to search to find that. Like, that's
the thing, is you don't search. They just appear on your phone and you watch it and then it goes away from your life.
You've got good TikToks. You actually, your algorithm back when we did it first time was trash.
Let's look at this TikTok.
Oh.
I gotta put away your Halloween decoration. Let me show you another TikTok.
Oh, no.
Let me show you like a bunch of TikToks.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
Sometimes I think it's just people that have black cats are like, hey, we can make a cute video with our black cat.
On one hand, what's the spectrum between copying and problematic copying and just like ripping people off?
And then doing a trend.
Exactly, you know? It's the same thing as like in the community, the random thoughts. I wouldn't say that's copying people. People came up with their own thoughts. It was like a trend, right? This leans more towards copying.
They're trying to do the same punchline. Here's a good one. Palette cleanser.
Found this toy shovel at Target I thought I could upgrade. So first, I'm putting a brand new blade on it. That's pretty good, but I think it can be better. Next, I'm going to replace the handle with a brand new handle.
Oh my god.
Looks like we just made this shovel better. What do you think?
He turned a toy shovel into that. All the comments were like, can you help me fix my ancient Greek boat?
That is so funny. That's a great comment section.
Yeah,
like,
it's great.
They're making an obscure Ship of Theseus joke. That is so sick.
But like, I think most people would get that.
Do you think most people know what the Ship of Theseus is, James? What are you talking about? So good.
Maaz approved. Your Honor, he likes TikTok again.
Not gonna lie, I kind of did. I've got one original one that I want to show you as well.
Hey, how are you?
Very Australian.
You good? Hey,
Hey, this is my cousin Rory.
Hey, mate, how you going?
Yeah, good mate. Nice to meet you. This is your place? It's nice, eh?
It's alright, eh?
I'm so invested in the story.
Alright.
Right, mate. You're alright?
Is that guy serious? Like, I haven't even met him.
I like the idea of like a handshake having that high stakes, you know?
Do you get TikToks of people making fun of millennials?
I do.
I don't think I'm allowed to say that something's cooked. Dude, that's so cooked. Like, I can't. I think I just butchered that too. And like,
Your Honor, James is cooked. James is cooked, Your Honor. The thesis of my statement is not so much that TikTok is all bad and shorts are all bad. My thesis statement is shorts inherently carry a lot of harm. People get addicted and keep doom scrolling. I also think TikTok as a platform doesn't do enough for their creators and doesn't push as many good videos as it should. And I find that Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts are a lot better in that regard.
okay, counter argument. Here is a TikTok that I made.
I love these TikToks.
Hark! An evil demon worm is destroying the village! Fear not, villagers! Harketh! It's Blorbo the Dragon Rider! He'll save us! All right, Sephiriah, ingest that heathenous creature!
So is she gonna eat it?
No, yeah, this is just, give her a second. Almost!
What I really like about making TikToks and YouTube Shorts is that it tickles the part of my comic making brain that I had all those years ago, where I would think of a joke, I just want to tell the joke and then leave. This idea came for me because I was like, what if dragons acted just like normal lizards? This Dragon Rider one, I don't even know if it would work in comic form. There was just so much like acting and little like details that we could add with animation. So I'm also like being able to like tell jokes that I wouldn't have even been able to tell with, you know, comics. My response, my rebuttal is that I like making TikToks and
Aww. Well, that's like so wholesome. Like, what am I gonna say to that? I guess if you enjoy it, then that's fine, right? Like, at the end of the day, I'm just a dude. Like, I'm not gonna be sitting here being like, no one can ever enjoy a TikTok. I think with anything in life, there's harms, there's benefits. If you do it in moderation, it'll be okay.
Before we do any consensuses, what if we look at TikTok incognito?
Let's do that.
This will be the final judgment. This would be the universe giving it. It's kind of like a tarot card reading.
This is a brand new algorithm. We don't know anything at all. This is what people are being served when they step onto the platform, okay?
I see. I don't think we were the demographic.
Bianca, okay, where are you from?
Alice Springs.
Alice Spring. And you?
Alice Springs.
Okay, today I'm gonna ask you guys, I wanna learn your language, okay?
This is an actual educational one.
Well, this is like a very educational one about learning languages, okay? Fashion.
Fashion about between Gen Z and millennial. Ooh.
What is this?
Oh, so is this is just work safety videos with creepy music?
I think it's work safety videos, but I think it appeals to people like like me, who like, I don't know. It's like,
and also it's just, since it's animated, they can get away with like really messed up stuff, you know?
Some of them look like it's CGI. What do you mean some? What are you talking about?
So wait, what was the consensus?
I didn't love that.
You didn't walk away a better person?
No. If the intent of you joining TikTok is just to relax and watch some silly videos, that's completely fine, right? Like, that is absolutely okay. If you love dances, that's fine. If you love fashion, that's fine. I actually think TikTok as an algorithm did well in what we saw. It gave you one of every different genre, so that whatever you like, you click on it, and then they'll give you more of that genre. Fashion, art, educational, comedic-ish. But the fact that they do that to prey on you and like try to give you more and then keep you scrolling for longer, don't know if I love it.
I think there's a phrase that we can say to pretty much everything, which is, you know, it's all about that balance.
The audience is the judge, and so they're gonna leave comments about who is in the right, and obviously it's me. So I just feel like if we keep shortening our brains, we're basically doomed as a civilization, like the Doomlings. I am an absolute board game nut, and I've been building up my collection over the years, but the problem that I've been having now is that I'm too into board games, so I can't even play some of the ones that I own, which leads me to looking for more accessible games that I can play with all my friends, like Mafia. And that's where Doomlings come in, because it's honestly become one of my new favorite card games. It's lighthearted, whimsical, and perfect for 2 to 6 players. It's genuinely super easy to learn, especially with the Doomlings in 60 seconds video, so you can get everyone up to speed and playing immediately. Oh, I wish other games had that. Doomlings also has its own depth and strategy to it, which is why my friends and I keep coming back. It's easy to set up like Uno, playful like Pokemon, but has a strategic component like Munchkin to keep everybody invested, even if you did have ADHD from TikTok. The aim of the game is to score the most points by the end of the world, by building up traits and evolving these cute little Doomlings over the rounds or ages, before catastrophe strikes and the world is over. Strong thumbs up from me. I love this kind of stuff. Now is the best time to try Doomlings out for yourself. For a limited time, head on over to doomlings.com and use the code AMAZING20 and you'll get 20% off your entire order. So make sure to click on the link right here or on the description below to get Doomlings for yourself. Thank you for sponsoring this video. Thank you patrons and members for helping support this channel. And thank you, James, for joining me.
No problem, Maaz. This is a lot of fun.
If you like his comics, if you like his shorts, if you like his videos, make sure to check him out and subscribe.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone. Love you. And stay TikToky.
How's it going, buddy? Buddy boy, Maaz. Yeah, boy. Okay. I was just checking to make sure the microphone was on.
Hear that? It's an airplane, Maaz. It's an airplane, Maaz. Oh my gosh, I can't even record. This is a stupid airplane over my head. Okay, it's gone now.
Hi, I'm Rush. I'm not saying Vader. Hello, I'm not saying Vader. I will kill you and your family.
Yeah, you really need to get off, sir. Yeah, you really need to get off, sir. Yeah, you really need to get an officer because what you're doing is illegal. Finger guns.
You better watch Gurren Lagann. You better freaking do it or I'll murder your family. We need to watch together. Anyways, next line.
And when I throw you out, you're not gonna like it. Cause I'm really strong and powerful and I have a lot of friends. I can lift a car with my pinky. So like, you better get out of this plane or else I'm gonna break your glasses in half and you'll just be a face without any eyes. You'll just have a mouth and a beard. Who wants to be friends with a guy with just a beard and a mouth? No, not me.
Ha! That's what you get. I'm guessing what you should have said.
Yeah. Yes. 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 No. Yes. I'm your yes man. You wanna go and rob a pig? Yes. You wanna go and destroy all the cows in the farm? Yes. You wanna go and help Ivan eat his dog? Yes.
Just 3 hair strands? The hair strands? Oh my god.
Alright.
So I need to like prep up my Australian accent. I gotta like put some shrimp on the barbie.
I hope you like this ASMR. I know you just love ASMR. Hi guys, I am a laddie.
Let me just throw in some sound effects. My name is Maaz. I'm stupid. Hello, this is me. I don't want Gurren Lagann. My drill will pierce the heavens.
Razor blade. If you say raise up lights, there's some phrase that you can say that when you say it, it says razor blades in an Australian accent. Razor blades.
What are you doing? Why are you covering me dirt? Wait. What? There's a typo, Maaz. It's why are you covering me dirt? James didn't catch that? I read this. How did I not? Did you do that on purpose? Why are you covering me dirt? Okay, wait. Okay, I'll fix it. Actually, I'm gonna fix it in the script. It's annoying. Hold on. And I'm gonna tell you how dumb you are. It just said, why are you covering me dirt? Ha 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 ha. Loser. Ha 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 ha. Prawns. Ha ha ha. Okay, I'm gonna send it now.
Oh, look at me, I'm Maaz. I like anime, but look, I didn't watch Gurren Lagann, one of the most famous animes of them all. So yeah, I'm glad you picked me as a voice.
Well, that's it for this video. I need to sound Muslim though, Maaz.
Why am I even friends with you guys?
Today, welcome to Laddie ASMR. It's pronounced actually ASMR. Everyone's been pronouncing it wrong this whole time, and I'm like, no, it's not ASMR, it's ASMR. So, welcome to ASMR with Laddie. And today, I'm going to be taking Maaz out of an airplane, all for your enjoyment and relaxation. Groom, to the 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 groom. Okay, bye, Maaz, love you.
I hate working. I don't want to go back.
Then don't.
Doctor, please help. I got a tumor.
Then don't. Hi, my name is Maaz and I got fired from my first job. And you will too if you don't subscribe to me, because only a third of you who watch my channel actually click the button. So please sub or else I'll make you into a sub. Oh, and this video is sponsored by Curiosity Stream. More on that later. When I was 13, I grew up in a traditionally brown or Asian household within rural Australia. Now, I'm not sure if this was the case for other people like me, but the idea of giving your kids allowances, independence, or freedom were alien concepts to my parents. To them, what was the point in getting money for yourself before you're 18? Because they always did say, if you need anything, just let us know and we'll get it for you. But the weird thing is, whenever I asked my parents for unconditional parental love, they said no. So I guess it doesn't work all the time. Anyways, because I was just a puny brown teenager, I had to convince my parents to let me get my first job and earn some real money. I went to the nearest building that was hiring, and after going through their rigorous interview process, I finally started working at Oh, wait, actually, I don't want to get in trouble for this video, so I guess I'll have to use a fake name, hey? Now, if I was uncreative, I'd probably name it something along the lines of McDonald's. But since I'm not, I worked at Whackdonald's, because that place was whack. Yes, thank you. In Australia, we like to shorten our words by a lot, so almost everybody here ends up calling Whackdonald's Whackers. It's actually so commonplace that some stores even have signs outside that just say Whackers. Isn't Australian culture neat? Australia isn't a real country, please tell me they're keeping me hostage. Now, I won't talk smack about Whackdonald's, because I actually do think it's a great place to work. I don't have any regrets about having my first job there, and the people working were really nice, and there's not that many negative experiences that I had to go through.
Excuse me, can I have extra sauce?
Did you just say extra sauce?
So let me tell you about the behind the scenes at McDonald's for when I worked there. So the workers were split basically between two sides. The cooking team, which was in charge of making all of the food. But in the front were the real MVPs, the people who manned the counters, who took and prepared the orders, and little Timmy over here, who is responsible for continuously breaking the ice cream machine. But again, just like most minimum wage jobs, there's the good, the bad, and the weird. Like the very, very weird. There was this one guy in particular who I still think about to this day because he terrified me and I don't want to see him again. His name is Terry and he's a regular connoisseur of whackers. And he was so consistent with what he came in for that the staff knew exactly what he was going to order. A single cone of 50-cent soft serve ice cream. He ordered this daily and every time he'd happily walk out with some delicious soft serve in one hand and the growing risk of diabetes in the other. I didn't think too much of it until one day when I was manning the counter, I recognized old Terry walking in. He was my beacon of hope within the chaos and humdrum of work. So when he walked up to order the same 50-cent served cone, I was more than happy to oblige. I make the ice cream with great difficulty, give it to him, and reach out my hand for payment. These aren't Australian coins. These are way too light, and it reminds me of New Zealand coins because I used to live there. Oh, yep, nope, these are New Zealand coins. Sir, I don't think we're allowed to accept foreign currency at McDonald's. Oh no. Timmy, do your thing. So this may be speculation here, but I think this guy had been paying for his 50-cent ice cream the entire time with New Zealand coins. And this must have been a deliberate thing because if it was a one-time mistake, why would he take back the coins and run off to join another line? Which then begs the question, why? Actually, why? Because the difference between the two currency in terms of their value is 50 cents New Zealand is 40 cents Australian. So I guess he's getting 10 cents off, which is, to be fair, a 20% discount. But then again, why go to such an effort to get New Zealand coins from an exchange service for ice cream? I didn't even know what to do at that point. Because listen, as a Whackers fast food employee, I do not get paid enough to go up to him and give him the good old don't. In the end, the 10-cent difference was not worth it, and I just pretended like I didn't know him at all. Also because the 10 cents was like an hour of my pay. Weird stories like these make work fun and interesting, yeah, but it's also not that common. The usual things that I had to deal with were customers who yelled at me, or people who got their order wrong and thought it was my fault, or just plain annoying customers.
Extra sauce.
You again? That's it. Here's your extra sauce! So overall, whilst I enjoyed the friends that I made, after working for a bit in McDonald's and dealing with the nasty customers, it actually did leave me feeling more scared, anxious, and nervous about working there. So much so that by the final few days of the 3rd month of me working there, I didn't want to go back. I had to legitimately force myself to go back every single day, all for minimum wage, anxiety, and getting scanned 10 cents on the daily. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. It always felt like I wasn't up to the task, you know, because I'd make a mistake and then I'd get yelled at, which made me more careful not to make the mistake. But then I'd get yelled at for being slow, so then I'd speed up and then I'd make a mistake and it would just repeat and repeat and repeat. They were so consistent with this that you'd think that it was their secret ingredient. Because it was. Yeah, the salt and the fries are actually underpaid teenage tears. Until one day, I went up to my mom, venting about how I had to go work the next day and how badly I didn't want to go, and she said the magical word. Don't. Now look, I'm gonna be real with y'all, and Mom, I know you're watching this, and I'm sorry in advance, I love you. But that is some grade A terrible advice. Do not, please do not ditch or ghost in a professional setting, okay? Because it is always going to end badly for you, especially if you ghosted in the middle of a critical job.
Yeah, hold this.
Oh. All jokes aside, I know I was 13, and I shouldn't expect past Maaz to make perfectly logical decisions, but I think I did let my anxiety overpower me a little bit. I should have at least gone into McDonald's and quit in person instead of running away from what was troubling me, because a month later, I got a letter saying that I was effectively terminated, and because of that, I was so scared from seeing anybody from McDonald's that I've never gone back. Nah, I'm kidding. I went back yesterday. The fries are just too good. Oh god. Honestly, I made this video because I wanted to compare against what I would do now. And the answer is pretty boring because I would have just handed in my 2 weeks resignation and then skiddity beep boop bop out of there. But that's growth. That's exactly what I was looking for because I have changed for the better, even if just a tiny little bit. And I hope that I can continue changing for the better. And that the Maaz now, 10 years after my first job, who's starting to work long-term as a doctor, can handle the incoming burden. And if I ever get the urge to run away, hide, or avoid the growing responsibility, I know exactly what to do. Don't.
When I come home all stressed about my rough workday, I make sure to relax by watching only the highest of quality content, like Nebula Original Digital Gold Miners, a documentary about Venezuelan gold farming using RuneScape to grow their wealth. You can watch this on Nebula, a streaming-nominated video service including independent creators such as myself. Nebula is a platform where a whole bunch of top-of-the-line creators such as Real Engineering, Midlife Crisis, and Extra Credit can create 100% ad-free quality content without the added stress of the algorithm or demonetization. It also allows me to be experimental with the kind of content that I want to make, such as the face cam version of Mafia Round 1 from the previous video. And Nebula is bundled with this video's sponsor, CuriosityStream, which is home for thousands of shows about history, philosophy, medicine, all topics that I really enjoy watching in my free time. I mean, if you watch my videos, then you'd probably enjoy these too, like Curious Minds, The Science of Sleep. It's a show that explores what our brain does when we sleep, when we don't get enough, or if there's any issues with our sleep itself. I highly encourage you to get the bundle by signing up with the link below, which will net you access to CuriosityStream and Nebula with a reduced 26% off their annual plan, totaling less than $15 per year. And this isn't a trial. As long as you're a CuriosityStream member, you'll have Nebula as well. Trust me, it's one of the best deals in streaming at this moment. So again, click on the link below or go to curiositystream.com/Maaz to get both CuriosityStream and Nebula for less than $15 per year, and help support my channel and animated content as a whole. Alright, thanks everybody, best of luck with wherever you're working, and stay amazing. Hi, my name is Maaz, and this is about how I got my one and only Valentine's card. So back when I was a senior in grade 12, I used to be a prefect, which is the same as being on the student council. As part of our responsibilities, we needed to showcase how we can effectively manage school events, the biggest of which was the prom. But prom ain't cheap, and we needed ways to raise our funds for the event. And what was the best way for us to get money for the prom? That's right.
Give us your money!
What? Wait. No, it wasn't mugging. That was our second best way. It was actually up to the Valentine's Committee to raise the most money for the prom. And you may have guessed it, but I, along with my fellow prefect Beverly, were in charge of such a crucial committee. Now, it may not sound like much, but this Valentine's Committee was absolutely essential within our school. Because imagine that you're a poor soul in love with this handsome dude that everybody seems to like. You've been trying to get senpai to notice you for ages, but you just can't. And then finally, the long-awaited Valentine's Day comes rolling around. What do you do now? Psh, what? You're gonna walk up to him and give him your chocolate with flowers and say,
"Hey, I like you." Get her! Oh God, no! Ah! Oh God, please! Disgusting!
Hey, I'm sorry to say this, but you did this to yourself. Because what you should have done is use the anonymous service provided by the Valentine's Committee. Beverly and I would organize a bunch of senior students to dress up in togas, pink lipsticks, wings, and send them off to go from classroom to classroom to spread the romantic festivities. Not only that, but for a low price of $1, you could get your love letter delivered anonymously to another student. That way you could totally prank your bro friends and get them a Valentine's card to show them how much you appreciate them. But not like in a romantic way or anything. Baka. And for some extra dollars, we would even add a rose and a Valentine's themed lollipop to really spice it up. And if you're even more dedicated, you could pay more so that our certified guitarists, singers, and dancers would essentially serenade the person that you're choosing. Isn't that lovely? Wait, You really want me to sing this? Like, legit, are you serious? Because you paid good money for this, and I didn't want to. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. But you didn't have to cry. Now, it may seem like it was all fun and dandy, and to be honest, it actually was, but it was equally a ton of hard work. On the form for the anonymous message, people were meant to write their intended person to deliver to, which class they would be in, and their specific message. But see, as the leaders in charge, we ended up seeing almost all of the Valentines that came through. And to be honest, this was like a constant stream of tea. And I loved every second of it. Bro, Stacy's been sending roses to like 12 dudes. Ooh. Alex is sending Valentines to Maria when he's with Eliza. Bro, don't even get me started on Sophia. Wait, Sophia, why are you sending my mom a Valentine's card?
Tu madre y yo compartimos una noche que nunca podría olvidar.
But the downside of this abuse of power was that we could also see who sent Valentines to each other. Beverly had gotten some here or there, but I had yet to see one for me. And sure, that may sound kind of sad, but I had been around 7 or 8 different schools during my entire educational life, so I was used to never getting any. Besides, the schooling year started in January for us, so it wasn't a personal thing for me. It was more logical, like, yeah, why would anybody send Valentines to a new kid who they've barely known for a month, you know? And honestly, it didn't really bother me at that point, especially because I had my hands full just trying to plan and organize the Valentine's delivery. It was so hectic that I legit forgot to dress up in the togas that the rest of the committee members had worn. And so there's actually a picture out there of all the seniors in colorful reds, pinks, and whites, and then this random brown kid in the back wearing his school uniform. So suffice to say, I had completely forgotten about my lack of letters. But what I didn't realize was that Beverly, my partner, had noticed that as well. And it may have been because it was our final year, or maybe because of how cynical I'd gotten, or maybe because she was thankful for my contributions. But she took a little pity on me. Because on the last day, when all the deliveries had been sent, I was surprised to see that there was a singular letter there waiting for me. And inside it read, "Dear Maaz, thank you for being my partner and working hard for today. You did great. Beverly." The funny thing is, she actually spelled my name wrong on the Valentine's card. But I didn't care. I had never received a Valentine's card before, and the fact that she had noticed it and decided to write one for me on my last school Valentine's Day was just too considerate. And I was so touched by such a genuinely kind gesture that I didn't even care about the mistake. Because despite Valentine's Day running like clockwork, having positive reception, and being financially successful, this, my one and only love letter, was what made that day special for me. Thanks, Beverly. I really do appreciate what you did. And I hope you're doing well. Thanks for watching. What makes this even sweeter is the fact that Beverly and I weren't even friends. Like, sure, we had a lot of responsibilities together and we were prefects, but I don't think she would have ever called me a friend, you know? Isn't that the sweetest? It warms my heart every time I remember this story. Alright, and as always, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a meme of a comment, and consider supporting me by grabbing some of that swanky merchandise, helping me on Patreon, or joining my channel as a channel member. Alright, laters everybody, and stay aMAAZing.
Congrats on hitting 1 million subscribers! What are you gonna do next? I'm gonna quit YouTube and be a doctor! Give it back! I've been both a certified doctor by day and an uncertified YouTuber by night for nearly a decade. But at the peak of it all, I decided to quit YouTube. But why? Hi, my name is Maaz. I'm talking about my regrets juggling these 2 massive jobs, why I left YouTube, and why I'm coming back. In early 2020, I released a video where I announced that I would take a year off from medicine to really focus on YouTube full time. Because instead of having regrets about putting only half of my focus on YouTube, this was my chance to give 110% to the almighty algorithm. I wanted to make more videos, build up a new team, tour around the world, go to VidCon, visit new friends, and then 2020 happened. Nothing else of note occurred during this year. Okay, fine, Among Us came out.
So at the end of this video, I made a public call out for people to join TheAMaazing. Now, I'm sure it's no surprise, but building a team is hard work. I never thought that my hobby of drawing cartoons would result in leading people to also work on my silly ideas. It's not really a skill they teach you in doctor school, but also I was too busy drawing S's and not letting thoughts of committing arson take over.
Arson is a criminal offense.
Although it was hard, I knew it was necessary to get some help in order to survive on this platform as an animator. My 1 year off was like a timer above my head, and when it went off, I would die. I mean, return to being a full-time doctor. Actually, yeah, wait, those are the same things.
Dr. Maaz, this patient needs urgent surgery.
Yeah, can you come back in like a year?
Oh no, you gotta be kidding me.
Now, thankfully, after sitting through thousands of amazing applications, I managed to slowly but surely build up TheAMaazing. I found this to be one of the most rewarding experiences yet, being able to work closely with immensely skilled artists in order to bring my videos to life. And honestly, I couldn't have made my videos without them. Cinema. And as the months ticked away, it only got easier and easier to craft my videos with my new super kick-ass team. We worked hard to upload consistently, which made me believe it'd be possible to juggle being a real doctor, a real YouTuber,
And a real boy.
but the end of my year off was looming, and I got real nervous about how much my medical knowledge and skills had depreciated from the time away from the hospital. I was so locked in for YouTube that I had completely neglected my medical half, and all I could do was pray that my YouTube knowledge would somehow come in clutch. Yo, what's up, Martians, and welcome back to my new unboxing video.
That's my other kidney, other kidney.
But surprisingly, I found that the experience of building and managing a team for YouTube was actually super helpful for my medical life. Even as a junior doctor, my senior staff members would be surprised at my ability to just get things done. I mean, when you're crunching 2 full-time jobs at the same time for years, I guess your efficiency would go up. And due to my experience, I was also praised for my impeccable communication skills. Mars, you can't keep asking patients to subscribe. Oh, sorry. What about liking my videos? Well, yeah, obviously they should do that. The months that I had spent building up TheAMaazing paid off big, and I was able to be a doctor and YouTuber at the same time for years to come. I'll admit that it was tough at first adjusting after doing only YouTube for a year, but I made it work because I had 2 wolves inside me. I'm not a furry. Despite all of my successes, slowly but surely other responsibilities started to creep in, and the very precarious balance that I had worked so hard for started to tip over. Naturally, I wasn't going to remain a junior doctor forever, so as I got more and more experience, my workload increased. That only got exponentially worse after I joined a training program to become a senior specialist doctor, with a major obstacle for this training program being a pair of incredibly difficult, high failure rate exams. And this, man and gentle ladies, is when things went from difficult but tolerable to downright impossible. I should have committed arson.
Arson is a criminal offense.
These were not exams where you can just snooze on through until the very last day. No, I'm talking about a cumulative 50% pass rate to get through both exams in one go, even with adequate preparation. And if you do fail, you can only retake the exams next year. Oh, and you only have 3 tries. Now, this is some high stakes coin flipping if I've ever seen one. Oh, phew, I'm safe. Mind you, the main way that I've been able to juggle things so far is by working or going to medical school in the morning and then immediately switching gears to YouTube by night. I had almost no time to socialize, play games, meet new people, so the idea of now fitting in hours and hours of studying for exams on top of what I was already doing was absolutely impossible. No, please, senor, stay back! Wait, did that actually work? As if the workload itself wasn't hard enough to deal with, things started to get more complicated when people at work found out about my YouTube channel. Hey, which one of you snitched? I mean, it was bound to come out eventually, but I guess I didn't expect the way that other doctors and staff members would react. Some were nice about it and made for a decent icebreaker, which was cool, but a majority were just super awkward, like, wow, cool. That seat's taken. There were also a fair bit of just outright rude comments. I was at a wedding for one of my friends, and as I was sitting there trying to make small talk to people that I had never met before, I got outed as a YouTuber by my friend sitting next to me. And that resulted in one of them just straight up saying,
Oh wait, are you the one who makes the weird cartoons online?
On the outside, I said, oh yeah, that's me. But on the inside, I was like, what the f else do you want me to say? Yup, I'm the weirdo. Total lunatic over here. Ooh, just you wait. I am so gonna make a video about you. I'm making light of these comments, but they really were super condescending about something that I worked on as a passion project. Like, I'm not even asking for people to understand, but just like, be normal people about it. And look, in retrospect, I'm sure these were throwaway comments from them, but it definitely made me feel ashamed about the fact that I was making content, about videos that I was so happy with. I am happy making animations, aren't I? Well, let's talk about that. But before that, I'd like to take a moment to have a chat about this new browser that I've been trying. Why was that in my pelvis? Welcome to the future of browsing the web. The shiny, super aesthetic Opera One R2. Do you have any idea how many tabs I've opened? All of my productivity lost. But with Opera's new feature, Tab Islands, you can group them together however you like, making your own islands and tucking them away when you're not using them. Wait, did you lose which tab you were just on? Well, Opera still has you covered with tab traces, where it shows you the last tab that you were just on based on which one is underlined the darkest, which is perfect for you and your smooth brain. It's like a marble. Opera One R2 is not only dynamic, but it's also aesthetic, letting you pick between customizable themes to fit your vibes. If you want to be more productive, just drag a tab downwards and you can split screen 2 windows at the same time. Chat, are we cooking? Oh. Chicken chuck! Ever have a question but don't want to open an extra tab? Just use the command line to get AI-powered Aria to answer your questions without losing your place on the page. And if you want to listen to your tunes, use the new music player that supports a massive range of streaming services. You can even pop it out to play music without messing with your windows. How epic! So, why are you still here? Opera One R2 is free, and you can get it now by clicking on the link in the description or pinned comment below. Thank you, Opera, for sponsoring this video. But let's get back to why I fell out of love with YouTube. With the monstrous amount of work I was doing between YouTube, medicine, and my exam prep, I found myself struggling to just hold on. I have receipts from DMs between friends, and I was genuinely throwing around terms like survival, as if my life was on the line trying to juggle everything. And as a result, instead of focusing on what I actually wanted to make, I started writing scripts where I wasn't all that passionate about it. And instead of focusing on what I wanted to make, I started to overthink about what other people would want. I would like you to continue surgery. Please. In addition to that, the mounting workload was seriously placing pressures on myself and my team. Unlike what people may have thought, I was still heavily involved with the creative process, even with my super amazing, incredibly talented team. But because of everything that was going on, you know, trying to be a certified doctor, I was often delayed in getting projects started. People would then have to wait around for more work because of me. Videos were then taking longer to get completed and the entire production slowed down. Not to mention my contractual obligations to meet specific quotas for sponsors, which resulted in work crunches to hit deadlines, impacting on all of our mental and sometimes physical health. Wait a second. Being your own boss and making videos for yourself is great, but having so many incredibly fantastic, gorgeous people depend on you financially for their livelihood, that responsibility added a surreal amount of expectation, and I felt like I was constantly failing them at all times, while scrambling to get my own life in order. So I just sat there, pondering why I was even doing it all in the first place. Is this, the repetitive, never-ending cycle of these huge workloads, truly what I wanted to do? By this point, I had given up a majority of my childhood and early 20s in order to grind out this YouTube thing. I was able to succeed on a passion project that so many people dream of doing. And despite knowing that, I wasn't even sure if I could confidently say that I was happy. There was no way around it. I knew that I was definitely burnt out from everything. And this only got worsened by the tonal whiplash that would happen from work. Dealing with the YouTube pressure was bad enough, but the pressures of working in a hospital with extremely unwell patients can be so emotionally and cognitively taxing. You never quite knew what would happen. One minute I'm making a new terminal diagnosis, then beep beep beep, there's an emergency call on the wards where I'm desperately trying to keep them alive, each crucial second ticking away, sometimes ending in a bad outcome. By the virtue of working in a hospital, death and illness became an everyday part of my life. Only for me to then go home, draw silly pictures, and pour mayonnaise on myself? Huh? What? What is going on? Is this disrespectful? It's gotta be disrespectful, right? This emotional disconnect started to grow. It impacted on my ability to figure out who I was, what I wanted to do, and exactly how I fit in with these jobs. I struggled a lot with a sense of never belonging with my race, being both not Western or not brown enough. How twisted is it that later in my life, I would also feel like I don't belong cleanly with my job either. Neither true YouTuber nor doctor. And with all of these thoughts swirling in my head, the pressure mounting, workload building, and the burnout continuing to take a toll on myself, I stopped making videos. Mafia 3 was meant to be the final video for TheAMaazing, a wrap-up of my trilogy, a big spectacle of a video as a send-off. I remember it being so gut-wrenching too, because I love my fans, and I felt this immense sense of guilt about leaving. I did want to make an update video or at least a formal goodbye to explain everything, but it was all getting so taxing on me as a person that the idea of even going back for one more video made me genuinely so nauseous and anxiety-stricken that I just couldn't do it. So I disappeared online. I still continued to talk to my friends, visited my mates in America, and was active over on the Voice Chat podcast. Basically just living my life without TheAMaazing. Heartwarmingly, some of you wondered what happened to me, sending me DMs, asking on live streams. There were even Reddit posts asking where I was. I never ever expect this sort of love or care from anyone, so this was just the most endearing thing ever. Thank you. I also got to feel mysterious, like, ooh, where's Maaz? You'll never know. Wait, can I see that thread? There was this one distinct moment in a random bookstore that I went to, where they had this panel to try out new gel pens. I picked one up and I didn't really know what to draw. So, my mind instinctively went to something that I had been drawing for years and years at that time. My character. And what was done as an innocent gesture to try out a new pen quickly turned to a deep sense of sadness. It had been months after my decision to stop making videos, and I guess I was still keeping that hope alive, that maybe one day I can get back into the swing of things. But by drawing this one little picture at a random bookstore, I realized that this may be the last time I ever draw my character again. A channel that I had spent years working on, TheAMaazing, was finally done. Looks like my summer vacation is over. Or was it? Look, you're watching this video, so you know I've come back. Stepping back from YouTube was so necessary, not just for my mental health, but also to free up time in order to prepare for the major obstacles in becoming a big boy doctor. The exams. Chance of success? Low. The risk of failure? High. My transformation into a basement dweller? Guaranteed. Oh hey Didas, I genuinely cannot express to you how much of a blur this period of my life was. It was like clockwork, going in for the day to sharpen my clinical skills, then going home to study all night, and then rinse and repeat for almost 2 years. I couldn't even access my textbooks online anymore because they thought I was a robot. With all of that being said and done, it must have been worth it because I passed the exam! Let's go! Genuinely one of the most grueling hurdles I've ever had to get through, and it's now over. I'm a real doctor now. And a real boy. Okay, can we get on with the surgery now? Wait, is that my kidney? The craziest part about me grinding away for this exam is how it impacted my creative side. Having time away from the demands of YouTube was enough for me to A, recover from my burnout, and B, meditate on why I was doing it all in the first place. I didn't start this to be famous or to make money, and it sure as wasn't to mindlessly churn out content that I didn't care about anymore. I started to make content to tell stories out of my own creative, burning desire and nothing else. So what happens when you lock somebody at their creative wit's end in a hospital for 2 years? As the doctor, not the patient. Well, for me, the need to create just grew and grew, biding time until I could let them out. And hey, if I'm going to release my creative side again, why not give YouTube another go? Alright! Arson is a criminal off. Wait, Maaz is back? Let's go, dude! Okay, but what about the lack of time, Maaz? Well, that's still the case with my work and another reason that I'll talk about in a future video, but with the massive gatekeeping exams out of the way, that's basically freed up a majority of my time to allow me to get back to 2 full-time jobs, just like how I used to. Look at this funny comment I got. I'm losing blood. But also, that's hilarious! But Maaz, wouldn't the pressure of the team impact you? What's so funny is that the story parallels and reverses. Now this time, because of me stepping up as a senior doctor, I've got more experience than ever in managing a large, always moving team, which all transferred over to the YouTube side of things. I love them so much. I'm so incredibly lucky to have this online career, and I want to continue to look at it as a passion project, just like how I started. I've even started to indulge in my own creativity. Like for example, you may have noticed each video has its own unique planet and aesthetic planned out by my team and I. Or maybe you haven't noticed, which makes me sad because we worked hard on those. But I wouldn't have it any other way, because that's what makes me Maaz-ing. aMAAZing. Man, it really has been a while, hasn't it? And to be able to craft these passion projects, with my views reasonably dropping off over my hiatus, I've been relying more and more on sponsors, patrons, and channel members. I am not kidding when I say that I could not be making these videos without them. Maybe this is my imposter syndrome talking, but it is still surreal to me when people watch my videos, and especially when they choose to support me and TheAMaazing financially. Thank you. Genuinely thank you. I cannot believe that. I wish my doctor's salary was enough to run it by myself, but unfortunately it is not. You will not believe how much these videos cost. It's like an arm and a leg out here. Don't look at me. And now that I've tasted retirement, I can say for certain that I won't be doing YouTube forever. Because retirement was awesome. I only worked one full-time job. But hey, at least until the 10-year milestone, maybe I've got a few more in me. And I hope that you'll be there too. So yeah, that's been my journey over the last 4 years. I know what I'm talking about is super specific to my circumstances, but I hope you found it helpful, somewhat relatable, or at least entertaining. I really do appreciate you all for watching my videos, and I hope that you stick around for future videos too. Thank you again, and stay amazing.
I kill a duck, okay? This story is not meant to be a nice fluffy one. It does involve me murdering a duck. If you don't like those kind of stories, I don't recommend you watch this, okay? Also, I live streamed this story, so that's why the audio is kind of off. But yeah, enjoy. Okay. Do you like ducks? Oh boy. What a simple question that has an amazingly awful story. Okay. Right, so when I was young, I used to have a little pet, and he was a duck, and he wasn't officially my pet. What it was outside my house in my backyard, there was a little pond, and in the pond, a duck used to come every day, and it may have been different ducks, I don't know, but I think it was just one duck, and I called him Mr. McQuackles, and Mr. McQuackles was the homiest duck you could ever imagine, okay? And I spelled Mr. McQuackles with 2 Ks, because that's how much of a homie he is, not with 3 Ks. Right, so, Mr. McQuackle's coming in, and he's swimming along, and I love that guy. I actually just walked to the patio and just watched him swim around, yeah. But then one day I was sitting out on the patio watching Mr. McQuackles, and then another duck comes down, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, this is, Mrs. McQuackles, you're boning that, we go for it, Holmes. But then, the duck, they start, interacting with each other, I'm just like, oh, they're kissing. And then I see blood, and I'm like, oh, what? And so what actually happened was the other duck swooped down and just started pecking the Mr. McQuackles to death. And the feathers were getting pulled out, and there was blood everywhere, and I was crying, and I was running to the pond, and I didn't want the other duck to kill Mr. McQuackles, so I grabbed his neck and put it under the water, and I drowned it. And I just drowned the duck. And so, but then when I looked, Mr. McQuackles had already died, and he was already dead, and he was floating in the blood. So in the pond at the end was just 2 dead ducks floating on the pond with feathers everywhere. And I didn't want to, I was young, so I didn't want my mom to find out, so I just grabbed both ducks and I threw it over the fence. So in the pool was just a bloodied, feathered pool and 2 dead ducks over my neighbor's fence. People always ask me, is it possible to drown a duck? Yes. Yes, it is. The answer is yes. I got a double kill that day.
Oh, it's actually hilarious.
I'm weak.
Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a little different from what I usually do, but I hope you guys like this format of other people being involved when I tell my stories. Major shout out to my friend Burrito Shake. He makes some amazingly funny comics. I binged most of them in one day. Am I biased because he made a comic of me? Yes, I'm biased. Okay, he's cool. Go check him out. Also, major shout out to my friends Mega Charlie 159 and Lovely Art Mess. They're cool. They're cool pals. Go check them out. Alright, laters.
Masaka! He's too powerful! How could I ever hope to match his strength? Don't worry, Maaz-kun. You can beat him. I know you can.
No, it can't be. Today's video is sponsored by Crunchyroll, Sensei.
Yes, my child. Just go to crunchyroll.com/Maaz or click on the link in the description for a 14-day free trial of premium. Stick around to the end of the video where we talk about the new anime smash hit, Tower of God.
Oh, yes, I can't. Bro, this anime sucks. Why is the main character so ugly? Here you go, Beta. I played for you and I played for your brother.
Oh, no, don't worry about those, Mom. He's long gone. Nom, 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 nom.
What?
Mother, it's quite simple. We started playing hide and seek, I tried to look for him, and I didn't find him. Therefore, he's gone. Understand? Jeez, woman, get it through a thick skull already. Hi, my name is Maaz, and I lost my little brother during a game of hide and seek. So let's rewind all the way back to when I used to live in Japan with just my mom, dad, 5-year-old me, and Moise, my 3-year-old little brother. Yep, that's his real name. The brothers Maaz and Moise. I guess mom and dad must have been big fans of starting with an M and ending with a Z or Z. But just you wait until you hear about our other brother's name. I was always a quiet kid growing up, but I also had this really bad, teeny tiny habit of hurting my brother. A lot.
But why would you do that, Maaz?
Because he was about to hurt me. And we can't have that now, can we, Mother?
Oh yeah, I love feeling it.
Maaz, go to your room.
How did he know? But all of these fond memories don't compare to the childlike wonder of playing hide and seek. It's super duper fun, and I remember spending hours playing the game with my friends. Bruh, even my dad and I have been playing for almost 20 years now. Maaz will never find me in here. So one day, Moise and I were so bored at home that we decided to play hide and seek together. I was the one seeking this time, which I think worked out perfectly because my brother was already trying to hide from me. 10, 9, 7, 2, 1. Ready or not, here I come. And look, I'm pretty good at hide and seek, but after searching for absolutely ages, I gave up and started to watch anime. Honestly, I totally forgot about Moise and was glued to my TV until my mom came in with some yummy, scrumptious sausages.
Maaz, where is he?
I don't know. I didn't really look around too much. So there my mom goes, searching all around the apartment in a frenzy to find my little brother. Now, Japanese living spaces are much smaller compared to Western ones, so there actually wasn't that much room for my brother to hide. We checked under tables, within the cupboards, behind the curtains, and nothing. No sign of Moise. He probably disappeared in our drying machine. That's how most of our socks get lost. So my mom proceeded to call around our neighborhood and nearby family members, but nobody had seen Moise all day. Now, my poor mom. I really do feel so bad for her. She had just graduated out of uni and was working as a full-time doctor, all the whilst cooking us meals, cleaning the apartment, and raising her 2 young boys. She was essentially carrying her entire family on her back. So imagine her fear when her 3-year-old son, who had to endure the survival of the fittest with yours truly, was missing. In desperation, my mom and I hop in our car and zoom around the neighborhood, trying to find Moise. And at this point, I gotta hand it to him. He's pretty freaking good at hide and seek. But we didn't find him anywhere. And at this point, my mom is in absolute meltdown, tears streaming down her face. And then she makes the impossibly difficult decision to go back home. It's okay, beta. We'll find him. Okay, Mom. Huh? Mom, I think that's Moise. Mama-chan, naze. And boy, it turns out that this chubby cheek, booger-eating, stupid little brother of mine wasn't hiding behind the curtain, but somehow inside the curtain. And then he fell asleep afterwards, so he couldn't even respond to us calling for him. We didn't even consider the possibility that this kid could be worming his way inside, just straight chillin', listening to me watching anime. Big brother? This time, you did succeed in hurting me. Emotionally. Maaz! Hand me a sausage.
Look, I love my family, and with this entire pandemic thing happening, I miss them a whole lot. But come on, bro. Pulling this kind of stunt during a game of hide and seek? See, this is why I stab you, bro. Alright, so let's get back to watching anime. Sensei, how do I get to be as powerful as you?
Well, Maaz, if you truly want my strength, you'll have to forge yourself by consuming unlimited anime, manga, and drama titles, sharpen your senses by watching ad-free 1080p HD episodes, and be more agile by reading the professionally subtitled anime.
Really, Sensei? Actually, a show that I've recently been binging is Tower of God. If you want a thrilling, psychological, and action-packed anime about climbing up a deadly tower while testing their determination and abilities along the way, then this anime is an absolute must-watch.
So remember, just go to crunchyroll.com/Maaz or click on the link in the description now for a 14-day free trial of Crunchyroll Premium so that you can truly increase your weeb level.
Wow, thanks, Sensei. That sounds super dope.
That's because it is.
Can I talk to my Martians now?
Yep.
To be completely honest, I actually do love Crunchyroll. I've legit used it for years now, so I'm super stoked to be working with them again. Last time, in my video about anime, I asked you guys to watch My Hero Academia. Did you end up liking the show? And if you did, who's your favorite character? Because if your answer isn't Mirio or Todoroki, it's incorrect. Alright, ladies, and stay aMAAZing.
Okay, class, time's up. Show me what you've drawn. I made a giraffe. I did a tree.
I drew furries.
Maaz, no!
So, all the way back when I was a kid in Japan, I used to draw a lot. Well, I don't actually remember that. These are all from just stories and videos that my parents shared with me. And there's this one video specifically that I love. I'm at this sweet-looking party that my family set up, and instead of being with the squad and being lit fam, I was just tucked away in the corner, minding my own business on the computer, showing early signs of antisocial behavior at parties. I was drawing this Japanese character named Anpanman, who is literally a Japanese pastry bun as a superhero. Which even back then, I thought it was a very silly idea. Like, what would be the equivalent in Western culture? Donut man? Croissant man? But bagel man? But see, that really isn't anything new though. This wasn't just the origin story of me as an artist. Drawing is what kids do normally, along with watching the Paul Brothers and Musically. Back then, I wasn't passionate about drawing, you know? Like, at that point, it was just a fun pastime. That all changed when my friend Matoi showed up and opened this entire new world for me. He introduced me to visual storytelling, comics, animation, and just so much more. Those silly comics that we made were honestly my #humble beginnings of this channel. Matoi kept showing me amazing websites as well, such as Newgrounds and DeviantArt, a place where I found people just like me. Matoi lit a fire inside me, and this time is when I can pinpoint as when my passion for art began. As for what I wanted to create, I drew on my inspiration from Japan and started working on an anime/manga style, beginning the long road of me becoming a filthy weeaboo. Unfortunately, I had to experience the one thing that every artist goes through when they're young and learning how to draw. The OC phase. I totally drew my fair share of edgy OCs. Like, I'm sure all this gore that I'm showing now is completely normal for growing boys and not at all worrying. I mean, look at this. Neo Draco? His name literally translates to new Drake or new dragon. Like, why does he have bandages everywhere? Maybe he cut himself on the edge. Matoi's gifts didn't end there. He then introduced me to Macromedia Flash, which just completely blew me away. Like, when I learned that some of the funniest content I'd seen on Newgrounds were all made by this program, I was like, oh man, I can totally make some. And then I made this. Now, the reception for this was overwhelmingly positive, with critics praising how I knowingly put things up that are bad, a mantra which I've managed to uphold to this day. But even with all that negativity, I was still like, because the thing is, even all the way back then, I didn't let the negative comments get to me. I'm mindful of criticism, but my genuine excitement of being able to pursue these forms of art was like a shield, you know? I was like,
blocking out the haters.
And then I got a tablet. My first one, mind you, a Wacom Bamboo manga. And this is still the tablet I used to animate my previous videos. It was so crazy to me. The notion that whatever I drew could go straight to the computer. Like, I was free to draw whatever I wanted to. And that's how I got into digital art. Honestly, I was so enthusiastic about bettering myself and just improving my own skills that I bought myself both books by Mark Crilly. I practiced hard, filled up notebook after notebook, the first of which my mom threw away when we moved houses. Thanks, Mom!
I'm kidding, I know you're watching this, I love you, Mom. But even that wasn't enough. I was so into the creative field that I took 3 years of visual art during middle school. Now, at this stage, I can imagine some of you asking, but Maaz, if you started all the way back then, why do you suck balls at art? Like, what is this? What are you even trying to do here? You're right, 100%. I really enjoyed my art class, but something was happening. See, visual art class had 2 components. Firstly was an essay analyzing an artwork, and secondly was a project with complete creative freedom. You know, you can do whatever you want. And so as the years went on, I was introduced to other artists and their own specialities. But the thing is, slowly but surely, art changed for me. It was all because of this one fear I had. A fear that I know a majority of artists face as they progress. I simply wasn't good enough. Was my art style good enough to compete? Was I good enough to be in class with them? Why aren't I improving more? And then I found kids who were younger than me just blow way past me in terms of artistic ability. I found people who did art for a shorter amount of time, but improved at a more rapid rate. And the worst of all was my best friend, who picked up drawing anime and manga style like me, and was just naturally better at it. And I remember crying so much back then, unable to cope with my own sense of worthlessness and demotivation. And I think this is where I failed. I wasn't affected at all by the negativity of others, but I let my own insecurities fester, boil, and ultimately kill my own abilities. I couldn't handle it anymore, so I quit. I dropped visual art the next year and only pursued digital art and sketching as a hobby. But the thing is, even that I wasn't able to do. Art for me had transformed from this beautiful medium, allowing me to vent my emotions, to this ugly, demented chore that had caused more grief than happiness. And so, I stopped altogether. This is the last piece of digital art I was working on before I quit. Man, I remember being so invested into making this look dope, and I just stopped halfway. What a metaphor for my art journey, right? And that old tablet I used, it was just left there collecting dust for about 4 years until I picked it back up for animation. But even now, I'm still a little afraid of drawing. Like, I hate to admit this, but every time somebody's watching me draw, I either do one of 2 things. One is to just draw very badly on purpose, or if it's like a live stream scenario, I try to stall and talk as long as possible so that they don't see me work. I once did that and Speechy commented like, "Whoa, you did 2 frames in like 40 minutes, nice!" To which on stream I actually laughed, but internally I was like, I think, in my own mind at least, I viewed myself as a failure of an artist. I didn't even let the haters get to me. But what can you do when the biggest hater is yourself? And the worst part is that I now understand that my frustration and insecurity about competition came from a good place. It came from my burning determination to improve myself. And contrast that to now, when I look at my phenomenally skilled artistic friends, and I don't feel that urge to be better anymore. I just feel this sense of regret and sadness. What would have happened if I had kept going and polished up my own skills? Do you know how demoralizing it is to know that you reached the peak of your artistic ability years ago? Like, dang, what happened to me? But don't feel pity for me. This level of introspection and reflection kind of shows that I'm aware of this. It shows that I understand that it's still not too late for me. I want to get back into the swing of things. I want to catch up, to improve my skills, you know? I want to be a force to be reckoned with, yo. Like, listen, me and Neo Draco, we are about to kick butt, okay? We're gonna come back and kick butt, okay? Take off your bandages, though, come on. I'm gonna practice my skills again, taking it slow as I need to, at whatever pace I see fit, to make sure that I don't feel that sense of regret ever again. I know this video was a little serious and down in the dumps, but I wanted to get a more real side of me out there, aside from the duck-killing, brothers-stabbing version of me that you guys know. Last thing I want us to end on is don't give up on your creative side, yeah? Like, if you're really passionate, you will come back to it eventually. Hey, look at me. I came back to animation, didn't I? So with that in mind, best of luck, my dudes, and stay aMAAZing. I was supposed to upload this on Valentine's, but sometimes things don't go the way you want. You know, your plans don't always unfold perfectly, and sometimes you meet the girl of your dreams who sings like an angel, you fall in love, you envision your future together, only to lose her that day.
Casey, come back to me!
I don't think you guys know this, well, probably because I don't talk about college in my videos, but I'm actually an interstate student at my university. Now, whilst it didn't cause too many problems, it did place a major obstacle in my way. Making friends. I know, that must be so hard to believe considering that I'm surrounded by great friends. But even I've had my struggles. Surprisingly enough, I made a bunch of friends in university and we called ourselves the Bananas and Coconuts. The reasoning was that whilst we were yellow and brown on the outside, we were all white on the inside. Anyways, it's been a few years since we formed the Bananas and Coconuts, and we've made a tradition of going on holidays together every year. Recently, at the end of 2017, we went to Australia Junior. Oh, sorry, I meant New Zealand. We drove all the way from North Island to South Island, and if I'm gonna be honest, even after that, I'm still not convinced that New Zealand is a real country. Oh no. Now, this story takes place during that trip in the city of Queenstown. Anybody who's been there knows this, but this place is super touristy. Like, there were souvenir stores left and right, and I honestly didn't care about them, but some of my mates were absolutely gunning to take something back to Australia, like a kiwi, or kiwi. I followed along as they were buying knickknacks and slowly started paying attention to my surroundings, as I'm sipping on my smoothie, of course. And that's when I heard it.
Hold me close and hold me fast. This magic spell you cast. This is La Vie en Rose.
The angelic voice. And not only was it the most beautiful voice that I've heard on that trip, but it was also singing La Vie en Rose, which roughly translates into the French song with roses. I'm pretty bad at French. Oh, baguette. Now, this song holds a special place in my heart because I was a huge fan of the show How I Met Your Mother. It's a story about Ted explaining to his kids how he met his wife, aka their mother. And it took Ted 9 frickin' seasons to explain how he met her. I only needed 1 minute to explain how I met your mom. But on the last season of the show, you finally meet the mother, and she sings La Vie en Rose in one of the episodes. So, as you can imagine, after 9 years of investment I had for the characters, story, and Ted's quest for love, this song quickly forced its way into my heart, and it's really important to me.
Ha! I bet you cried when you first heard it.
Well, shut up! It's a good song, okay?
What a loser. Crying over... Wait, Mom?
So once I heard this beautiful rendition of La Vie en Rose, I knew I had to see who was singing it. I left my friends behind and followed the sound until I reached the store. Now, imagine a clothing shop with a glass casing up front, but instead of mannequins, this store actually had a performer inside, just singing away. The first thing I noticed when I was walking up to the store was the message they had painted on the glass, featuring Casey! Which I thought was pretty cool of them, you know, to give recognition like that. The only other time I see somebody featuring like that is when the odd one's out. Then I glance up from the message and take a good look at Casey. She was beautiful. And I don't even mean like hot or saucy. I genuinely mean that she was radiating beauty. Like, you know how some girls call guys daddy? Well, in this case, she was mommy. Why did I write that in the script? But the thing is, I can say all this retrospectively, because at the time I was way more infatuated with the song rather than the girl herself. So I kinda like casually step inside the store and lean against the door, left hand in my pocket and right hand still sipping on my smoothie. And all that I am doing is listening to her amazing voice. And when she finished singing, all these positive emotions were rushing over me, and I was smiling like a dork. I then took a step forward, raised my smoothie like a toast, smirking all the while, and said, "That was fantastic." She looks at me, smiles, and softly giggles, which I'm pretty sure was like 50% pity. But the thing is, her microphone was still on, so her soft laugh transmitted all around me, reverberating in the store and in the outside markets. Oh no. She started singing another song, and I wanted to talk to her, or at least listen to another song, but I could see my friends walking away from the souvenir store, so I ran after them. If I'm gonna be honest, I could not focus on anything else after that. I was dazed, unable to concentrate on any more shopping, and just kept smiling like a dork. When I told my friends about Casey, they told me to go back and talk to her, like, you know, to see what would happen. I thought that was reasonable enough, so I grabbed a friend because obviously I'm not gonna talk to a girl by myself. Expecting normal social interaction. As we got closer and closer to the store, the first thing I noticed once again was the glass. I took a quick look at it, emotions rising again, smiling even harder than before, and it said, "Featuring Mickey?" So apparently, they swapped over to another singer because Casey needed to have lunch or something. I mean, if you're playing in a glass case for a random store, do you really have the money to spend on food? Aren't you supposed to be poor? Like, gosh, Casey, ever heard of a starving artist? Needless to say, I was saddened by the loss of my love, and I kind of expressed that disappointment to my friends, and to be honest, they were totally sympathetic. Well, mostly anyway. My friend and I even tried to see if she had an online presence. I wanted to see if we could contact each other one more time and reaffirm my love for her, but alas, it was not to be. But I guess that's life. I was destined to fall in love, only to lose her in literally an hour, lol. So I guess the moral of the story is, never talk to girls, because they'll end up leaving you anyway. At least Mickey's always there for me. Oh, and I'm dating your mom. Guys, this is Vincent, and he's the mascot of my podcast channel. If you want to hear more shenanigans from me, Laddie, and Rush, and a variety of guests, make sure to click on the link in the description below and subscribe to our channel. I hope you enjoy the voice chat podcast. Alright, and with that, I'll leave you be to listen to PJ's beautiful singing. Mwah. Stay amazing, everybody.
Hold me close and hold me fast. This magic spell you cast. This is la vie en rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see la vie en rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when you speak, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be la vie en rose.
Yup, I got married, and it wasn't to James. Or was it? This video is going to be a continuation of that video, talking about how I met my now wife name and my super smooth proposal. Perfect. Getting on one knee was the easy part. What came next was an insanely massive, Pakistani-centric, 500-person wedding that spanned over 3 days. And even though things went pretty well, there is this one thing that I regret about it all. And it's not about the person I married, I promise. When planning for the wedding, there were definitely people in my mind that had to be there. I've been fortunate enough to have made lifelong friends through high school, university, even the hospitals that I worked at. But the one group that I really wanted to be there as well were my online friends. They're important in defining who I am as a person today, but because they lived around the world, I wasn't sure if they'd be willing or even able to come down on a random weekend for my wedding. And yet, so many of my closest online friends came over from America, Europe, Japan, all to watch me marry the love of my life. After years of not seeing them, I loved spending time with my mates before getting married. We made wedding gifts together, had a big, deep and meaningful session in the big circle in the living room. I introduced them to HSPs or halal snack packs, the greatest Australian delicacy by far. Tabs managed to convince us to do an IQ test, which I took very seriously. Emily ended up walking in whilst we were taking them, and even though she flew down from Japan just to see me, I secretly hid in the cupboard so that I could complete the IQ quiz in peace. Listen, I told you that I take these things very seriously. What do you want from me? Also, if you're interested, this was my IQ, so I'd say it was worth it. But with all that being said, there were still a few people missing before the wedding. Jaden, Jacob, and one of my best mans, James. They did end up arriving on the day of the wedding itself. Literally arriving on the first day, then leaving immediately after the second day had finished because their schedules were so packed. They spent more time traveling than actually in Australia itself. Goofs and gaffs aside, that was genuinely so heartwarming and still blows my mind to this day. Like, thank you. Thank you for coming to my wedding. James has been one of my closest friends for almost a decade, and seeing him step up to the podium, anxiously deliver his best man speech, and then ask my parents for how he went was so cute. It was a great speech, don't get me wrong, it was a crowd favorite. until my little brother stepped up and one-upped him by nearly making me bawl. Hey, second place ain't too bad. The animators and online friends were also clearly different from the rest of the Pakistani circles, for obvious reasons, but what made them stand out even more though was Names' friend. She was a huge fan of the Storytime animation community, and she thought that Maaz was just a random Pakistani guy that Name was marrying, not the same YouTuber that she watched. So she was running around, hyperventilating, and getting signatures from my friends at my wedding. And then she threatened to dox me by posting a picture of all of us. What are you thinking? Please don't do that. Because I'm gonna do it now. Bam! Now, would you allow me to crush on my friends a little bit? Of course you would. It's my video. You have no control here. Massive highlight to Sultan, who had multiple people come up to congratulate him for the wedding and ask if he was a model. Okay, Sultan, on my day? Yeah, alright, bro. Alright. That's fine. Rush here also had a minion-style band-aid on his chin because the day before the wedding, he slipped on his skateboard indoors, split his chin, and got a minor concussion. I didn't think I need to be medical a day before my wedding, but here we are. Okay, thanks for being classy, Rush. My wife. But the person who cleared the most was obviously, unmistakably, Name. Even as the door opened, her smile and personality radiated through. As Name walked down the aisle, the full realization finally hit me. Everything else faded away as my attention was drawn and was solely focused on my wife. With every step that she took, memories of our time together played in my mind, and I couldn't help but grin uncontrollably from ear to ear. I'm not even ashamed to say that if I wasn't expressly told by my family not to cry publicly, I would have definitely shed some tears of joy. Don't you do it. We can't disappoint them now. With Name finally taking her seat and the butterflies in my stomach refusing to settle down, next up were the cultural wedding games. Now, unfortunately for all my friends, because of the busy wedding planning and some of them not arriving until the day of the wedding, I wasn't able to prepare them for the traditional Pakistani games to come. This should be fun. Wait, a present for me? Opera? You shouldn't have! And you have to stay and watch because it's your wedding gift to me. Wow, thank you guys. I didn't expect this from you. Opera is a wonderful web browser that I actually enjoy using for both YouTube and studying. The features that I personally like include tab islands, which allow me to group tabs by certain contexts like shopping, YouTube, and news articles, whilst also allowing you to organize web pages however you like. These islands can then be customized, expanded, or tucked away however you need. And did you lose the last web page you were just on? Don't worry. Tab Traces is here to help out by underlining your most recently used tabs. The darker the underline, the more recent the tab. What was your recent tab name? Can a worm survive inside a human? Worm questions again? Boost that productive brain of yours with Opera's native split screen feature. All you have to do is drag a tab downwards to open 2 pages in the same browser window. That's it. I literally just use this feature to write the script out and watch a YouTube video at the same time. How neat! Have a question but don't want to open extra tabs? Access the AI-powered Aria by using the shortcut here, and Aria can answer your questions directly into the command line without losing your place on the page. Aria also allows you to close, group, pin, or save your tabs as bookmarks. Just tell it what to do without affecting your flow. If Opera's features are just the right fit for you, why not give Opera a try? You can get it by clicking on my custom link in the description or pinned comment below and give it a spin. Thank you again to Opera, who have been absolute legends by supporting my team and I so consistently. And with that, let's get back to my chaotic wedding games and exactly what I regretted about my wedding. We began with a custom game where Name and her friends and family had come up with a mock contract with a list of demands, like I get to sit window side on planes, perpetual access to dessert, Maaz cannot ever make fun of Drake. Oof, that last one did not age well at all. Now, what's meant to happen is similar to a trial, where my friends and family try to argue down the list of demands to be more reasonable. This is in opposition to Name's family and friends who want to keep the contract as is. I think Sultan was the only one who understood, so he tried his best, but the others were either too stunned or just tried to agree with everything, which obviously isn't the best for me, so safe to say that the mock contract stayed pretty much the same. and has also been breached. Certified lover boy, certified. The next one's a classic, Juta Chupai, but I admit it sounds weird when I talk about it out loud. So what happens is, Name's family and friends steal my shoes, and then they try to extort me for as much money to get them back. Whereas my friends and family aim to bring down the cost as much as possible to a happy medium. Now, you might be wondering, like I did, who cares about the shoes? You can take them. But unfortunately, that was apparently not in the spirit of the game. Like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll pay money to get my smelly shoes back. It's in the name of love, whatever. Unlike the previous game, some people... No, actually, just Alyssa locked in. During the initial kerfuffle, I saw her desperately run off with a single shoe. Now, poor Jaden was in her path, so Alyssa ran up and yelled, "Jaden, put the shoe in your jacket now, please!" whilst manhandling her and pulling her jacket open. And I watched in horrific slow motion as Jaden, more confused than ever, tried to compute what the heck was going on. And I think a part of Alyssa died that night out of pure radioactive cringe. I don't know if they have ever talked about that since. And frankly, they shouldn't. After 30 minutes of deliberation, we finally came to a compromise on the price. When they asked around to see who had the shoes though, it was Emily who had them. Turns out that Emily didn't understand what was going on, managed to join Names' group instead of mine, and the group unknowingly gave Emily the shoes, so she's had them the entire time. We didn't even have to argue at all, we had them on our side. So when Emily handed them back to me, you should have seen my look of betrayal on my face. The last game that we played was a 1v1 against Name and I. There's a large bowl of milk with our rings in it, and whoever fishes out their ring first wins. And as I usually do, I get super serious about this game. I pulled out my ring straight away, raising it above my head, aura farming here. Name and all her friends are chanting, "Rematch, rematch!" So I give it another shot, all the while laughing, and I crush her again for a second time. "Here babe, you can have your ring." Now, this incident was not the massive regret that I had with my wedding, although it should have been, because this time the cheers were a little less enthusiastic. And then they accused me of cheating, so I said I'd do it again, and oh my god, this is so embarrassing, but I said I would even do it blindfolded, eyes closed. Hey, don't throw false accusations, that's all I'm saying. And so we play for a third time, and I win again, and I am just outwardly celebrating in front of everyone. It took my brother to snap some sense into me by saying, "Bro, let her win." And then I realized, oh yeah, this is probably not a good look at our wedding. And so I threw the ring back into the bowl of milk, playing one more time, letting Name win. She and her family and friends celebrated their win, and I watched, happy that she was happy. The smile on my newlywed wife was worth the loss. But there is one major regret that I have with my own wedding. My immediate family were there in full support, with my parents watching in a blink of their eye as their firstborn son marries the girl he loved. My family's speeches also had me on the verge of tears, with the only reason I didn't bawl uncontrollably being their own request not to do so. My friends, in-laws, the community who've known me since childhood were all there. The ceremony, the food, the AV tech, it all went well. So what was I deeply regretful about? Well, because of how incredibly busy I was with wedding planning, international friends arriving, and general medicine YouTube work piling up, I never really got to iron out my wedding speech for Name. On the day of, I said what I had prepared, but I wished that I had an opportunity to articulate exactly what I wanted to say. And now, I get to do just that. Name, with these videos, as well as everything else that we've gone through, I hope that it's clear to see how much you mean to me. From now, all the way until we're wiser in age, I promise you that I will forever be the golden retriever to your chihuahua. And by your side, I become a better man, worthy of a 6-star Google review. As long as we could spend the rest of our lives together, I would be content in whatever way, shape, or form that it takes. Even if we were just 2 worms under a spinach plant, both wearing cool leather jackets. Throughout our story, there's been a string tied together between us, an invisible thread pulling us over time and space. And with our marriage, we've spun it into a tight, unbreakable knot as it continues to weave a path forward beneath our feet. Name, as our love beckons us forward, inviting us to take our first steps as husband and wife, I've got no doubt at all that, inshallah, forever awaits us. And so, with our hearts bound and hands held so tight, let's make sure that we tread softly. Thank you so much for watching the story behind Name and I. It's obviously super important to me, and I thought it'd be good to share it with you guys. Years after it happened. I would have invited all of you guys, but the venue was just a couple of people over, so, maybe next time. Thank you so much for all the patrons who are supporting my channel, as well as the people who are making fan art, as you can see here. And with that, now I can start posting photos of my wedding and stuff on social media. Alright, laters everybody, and stay aMAAZing. Hi, my name is Maaz, and here's my defense on why video games are good for kids. Gamer time! Gaming has evolved to accommodate all different types of gamers, and nowadays is as accessible as ever with Minecraft, Fortnite, and established titles who sponsor this video, and I'll talk about them later. Whilst my friends and I grew up on classic web browser and free-to-play games like RuneScape, Neopets, and Club Penguin, and I think the generation before us played with the economy and capitalism. But let's talk about the social aspect of video games. Now, I'm not very good at making friends in real life, but as an extrovert, I do like talking to people, and emotional discussions are fun to navigate. But when it's face to face, there's a point where I just get bored of talking and get like, alright, that's enough now. No more. I'm tired. Sir, this is a funeral. Yeah, okay, but where's the Super Smash Bros? However, with gaming, it's actually beautiful how it all plays out. You get an easily accessible game, pull together a bunch of friends, and either strengthen or tear apart those relationships. There's always something to do, which helps develop a bond between everybody involved, whilst allowing enough opportunity to talk in between. It's a win-win. The amount of times I've gone on Discord and we casually talk about our lives as we're pummeling these noobs online is great. Yeah, so how's the weather going today? Definitely very sun. Look, help me, I'm in pain. Just the act of getting together for a common task is enough to build that friendship, especially with the pandemic, since we couldn't go outside to hang out. So having gaming as the glue for friendship online is definitely good for you. Hey guys! Guys? Oh, ignored again. Oh, I'm muted. Hey guys! Hey! Hi! Why did you kidnap my dog? See, I'm still close to the friends that I've made from gaming, and it's been years. I'm in pretty regular contact with them, and honestly, I would even invite them over to my actual wedding. That's how close we are, and I've only ever physically seen them a couple of times. Now, do you, Maaz of TheAMaazing, please like, comment, subscribe, take her as your bride? I do. Wait, who? Who are you people? It's still part of the same experience when people prefer watching games be played instead of actually playing them. As a kid growing up with Achievement Hunter myself, it feels really nice to be able to be part of a community that enjoys watching the same creator play games. Honestly, I feel like it's really easy to look down on people and say, hey, why are you watching that? Why don't you just play yourself? Oh yeah, old man? Why don't you play football yourself? Yeah, he's fine. In the end, video games provide an excellent avenue to satisfy that social itch that we all crave. How could I forget? Video games are important because it teaches us about the most important thing in life. Money! Most titles incorporate a basic level of economy within their games, ranging from trading emeralds for goods in Minecraft, or to entire village building like in Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing. Children and young adults need these systems to see what they'll be tackling when they're proper adults. And what better teacher than video games? Because it's not like the school curriculum is teaching you proper finances, that's for sure. Do it wrong in video games and you learn new strategies and can even restart. Do it wrong in real life and you end up homeless or in jail. Okay, but what about this? A get out of jail free card? Oh, no, sorry, turn it around. Is this a sponsorship? Hey, wait, get back here! Established Titles is a unique project where people can buy their own dedicated bit of land in Scotland. And with this, you can officially change your name to Lord or Lady on things like credit cards and plane tickets, based off an old historic Scottish custom. Hello, my name is Mr. Dr. Lord Maaz.
I trust this guy! My credit, I have sacrificed for you!
Not only that, established titles will also commemorate you by giving you an official certificate with a unique plot number, which can be used to see the exact location of your land.
This is sick, here it is!
The sponsor told me that the first 200 people to click on the link in the description below or use establishedtitles.com/TheAMaazing will get a plot of land that's located near mine. So if a bunch of you rise up and become lord and ladies yourselves, all of the Martians can get together to create the aMAAZing kingdom and take over this planet. And the best part about established titles is that they plant a tree for every order that's placed. They work with global charities One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global reforestation efforts. Mwah. You're a good little plant, aren't you?
Oh, stop it. Stop.
There are also last-minute gift options and even couple packs that come with 2 pieces of land that are right next to each other. So once again, make sure to head on over to establishedtitles.com/TheAMaazing or click on the link in the description below to get your piece of land, become a lord or lady, and support my channel. See, this is the type of using my finances wisely that gaming taught me. And it's even more educational when games go one step further to implement a realistic economy like in RuneScape. It had a system where you could trade almost any in-game item with other players on what was called the Grand Exchange. You buy and sell items at whatever price you set, which was affected by how everybody else valued those same items. There were even charts that you could use to measure the rise and falls of those items. Or, you know, you could just pretend to be a girl and wait for somebody to give you money. Isn't that right, PJ? PJ? There was once a time that I was an owner of hundreds of thousands of coal on RuneScape, which was essential since you needed it to make almost every set of armor in the game. I used to flip that coal, which meant buying it at a low price, then selling it back at a higher price. That little bit of profit, mine to keep. Doesn't sound like a lot for a single piece of coal, but what if you had hundreds of thousands like me? Well, you could keep increasing your profits, be able to crush the coal to make diamonds. I was called good old diamond hands in those times. Now they just call me old carpal tunnel. So I kept flipping coal and got filthy rich. Multi-millionaire on his way to RuneScape glory. Even Santa didn't give me coal anymore because he was scared that I would flip it. That is until one day RuneScape announced that it was reworking the entire smithing system, specifically to remove coal as the one centrally crucial ingredient. So coal was no longer in high demand, and immediately I logged onto the RuneScape economy graph and I watched as the coal dropped from 300 each to 250, 200, 150, and the hundreds and thousands of coal that I held now at half the profit that I bought it for. I lost everything! And I realized that I didn't have diamond hands. It was dirty, stinky coal hands. Ever since then, I've learned to always diversify, and I developed other life lessons that day. Something else I got from playing video games. Okay, so the actual research is sketchy here, but I believe that video games help develop fine motor and important cognitive skills. And you may be saying, Maaz, why should we listen to you? You just told us a story about how you lost millions with coal. Oh yeah? Well, my motor skills are off the charts and you're coal now. The easiest example to think of is like how first-person games help with hand-eye coordination. This is definitely true from my own experience, but take it from my colleagues, who are all doctors by the way, which means they're really smart. I once had a boss in the hospital who did a lot of scope work, which basically meant putting cameras down people's throats. What? He said that the actual device that he used looked like a game controller and mentioned how he learned the techniques faster than his colleagues because he was a secret gamer. So every single day, he felt like he was just sitting down and gaming with his little toy, maneuvering scopes down patients' throats. Wow, I can't wait to play this on Switch. Once again, I know the research is not 100% there yet, but if video games weren't helpful, then why do surgeons use augmented reality or VR to train their techniques? It was starting to become a thing whilst I was in med school, and it's becoming more and more accessible as we speak. I would even argue that relaxing, casual games are still useful in imparting skills such as organization, task management, and delegation of responsibilities. Because when I compare the two, I've matured more from the stress of Tetris than I have from playing Foursquare or Hopscotch, which has directly translated into how I handle stress at the hospital. Hey, actually, Maaz, I don't think you're being fair to the people who are concerned about video games. I feel like you should steel man your arguments and maybe talk about the negatives.
Wow, that's actually quite reasonable. Thank you so much for letting me know.
No worries, that's what friends are for.
Please, sir, I am dying. I think the main reason we're told not to play video games is because it's different from what they've been raised up with. Imagine spending all of your childhood time outside, active, building things in the sunlight, then seeing your kids holed up in the dark, spending hours on end in front of a screen. Are you winning, son? And it's that constant sitting, eating, and watching the screen that has negative impacts. It can range from increased obesity from eating too much and not exercising, or visual issues from constantly staring at the screen, or sleep deprivation and overuse injuries on your wrist and fingers from over-gaming, and genuine concerns regarding overexposure to violence and desensitization. All of those mentioned things are issues that I've definitely dealt with and experienced. Like, seriously, I just kicked an old man early in the video as a joke.
And now I'm still here.
Oh. I'm glad you're okay. But here's the thing. A lot of these issues occur when you're gaming to an extreme, which can just as easily apply to anything else in life. There aren't any problems if you were to eat meat, play sports, or even say bazinga. But if you go overboard, then we have issues. Bazonga. So instead of being restrictive with gaming, I think it's important to maybe have proper education surrounding it, just as we would with other hobbies. Play video games with moderation, and make sure to mix in proper food, sleep, and exercise. Not like that. Try not to play 2 hours before bedtime to avoid disrupting your sleep schedule. Make sure to periodically rotate your wrists around to give them a break. Be consistent with the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, look at something 20 feet or 6 meters away for 20 seconds to avoid eye strain. And then watch anime for 20 hours. I'm kidding. Unless. By incorporating those, you can get the most benefit out of gaming and avoid any of the issues. See, isn't that great for everyone? Now, you know what? Case dismissed. Innocent! Wait a minute, I'm the judge. I'm the one who does that. No! Okay. I grabbed 10 of my friends and fellow animators to play a heated game of Mafia. Hi, my name is Maaz, and welcome to round 3.
Please, he keeps bringing us back to life. Stop this man.
Rush doesn't speak for all of us. Please keep bringing me back.
Are you not fair enough? Let's get going.
Make sure to watch round 1 and 2 if you want to know more. There are 3 Mafia and the rest are Martians, each of them having special roles. At the start of the game, the Cupid wakes up to link 2 people. If one dies, the other dies from heartbreak. The night cycle begins and everyone is asleep. The Mafia pick one player to obliterate, but this time, the friend-zone Martian was sick of being friend-zoned for so long and is now evil. This special Mafia silences another Martian during the day, preventing them from speaking that round. To counteract this, the Doctor has trained some more and can now defend against both murder and being friend-zoned.
Next time I'm friend-zoned, I'm hitting up my local hospital.
There's also the Wizard, who can see another Mafia's alignment, the Timmy, who after revealing their role has 2 votes during the day, and the Vengeful Martian, who after getting obliterated can also bring down another player of their choosing. In the morning, the Martians can discuss who they think the Mafia is, and can vote somebody out or pass the round if a majority of people want to.
It's like Among Us.
Shut up!
Oh my god, Mungus.
This night and day cycle continues until Martians win by obliterating all Mafia, or until the Mafia win by destroying the Martian. And finally, this video is sponsored by CuriosityStream, but more on that later. And now, hello everybody.
Hi.
Hi, James. All right, so everybody go to sleep.
I'm sleeping. Honk shoe, honk shoe.
All right, everybody. In this silly little village, everyone is sleeping peacefully, and they think the Mafia have been killed twice now. But little do they know that things are about to get very messy in here. First off, Cupid, wake up. Cupid, if you could pick 2 people to link throughout this game, if one dies, the other will too from heartbreak.
Pick me.
Who do you want to pick?
Honk shoe, honk shoe.
Okay, no worries. If one of you die, the other will too. Please go to bed. Next, Mafia, please wake up. Who do you want to murder? Okay, wow, that was a unanimous and very swift decision. Friendzone Mafia, who do you wish to silence? Wow, okay. Dr. Martian, wake up. Who do you want to protect this round? Okay, go to bed. Wizard Martian, wake up. Using your mystical powers, who do you wish to observe? Okay, everybody wake up.
Am I dead?
Everybody's awake. Welcome. The first morning of the Martian village.
Morning with a U.
Morning with murder. Or is there? You look around as each of you walk out of your houses one by one. You hold each other's hands, happy to be alive again. But one of you did not come out.
Whoa!
Why'd you lead off like that?
The mafia kept turning down the AC, and unfortunately this person didn't have any pants to keep them warm.
No!
PJ!
And they froze to death.
No. I died how I lived, and I have no regrets.
She's able to give a final sentence.
June is not son.
Good last words, buddy. PJ!
You may also notice that Alyssa has unfortunately been friend-zoned.
Oh no.
And the friend-zone mafia has struck again.
If this happens often, I might just play some Toontown.
It would be a lot easier if the mafia just told us who they were.
Let's all say our roles. Let's go ahead. Give us your role first, Emily. Go ahead.
It's nothing interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's what someone with an interesting role would say.
No, it's not. I'm a nobody.
Do you wear pants, Emily?
I right now I'm not.
Oh.
Safe this time.
How about you, Andy?
I was an admin.
Now, Martians, you guys have a decision to make. Would you or would you not want to skip this voting or continue with voting?
I feel like we should skip.
We could skip, probably.
Sounds like PJ wants us to vote June, I think.
No. Wait, doesn't this mean she was...
Thumbs up. Only for the people who are alive. PJ, stay out of it if you want to skip. Wow. It needs to be a majority to skip. And because it's not a majority, we are going to vote now.
I would kill Rushlight Invader.
No, don't kill Rushlight Invader.
I would kill Rushlight Invader.
It sounded like when Mafia picked who to vote, they were all very not hesitant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there had to be some reason as to why they were all like, PJ!
And then Alyssa is muted, maybe because she was like boss in the last Mafia game.
I think we all know why Alyssa's muted. I guess we know for sure. Well, not for sure, but Alyssa and June are probably safe.
Yeah.
100%.
Maybe.
100%.
Andy, what about you?
Yeah, Andy.
I'm just... I don't... We only know June is not sus, so I don't know. I don't have a lot of information right now.
Okay, so to vote off someone, we need nominees. And you guys chose to vote someone off. So now we need nominees.
Well, because the PJ vote was unanimous, it leads me to believe it's several people who are very close with PJ.
Yeah.
So Rush and Laddie are the most sus to me right now.
No.
True.
Yeah.
I would not do that.
Oh, you wouldn't?
I would not.
Laddie's like about to die. I would not do that, guys. Me personally, if I was about to die, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Sultan has put in nominations for Rush and Laddie.
I don't nominate Russian Laddie.
The only strategy that I would have would be the person most confident to nominate someone with such little information. Sultan?
Yeah, you're like, you are on top of it, huh?
Yeah, but Sultan's always messy, so that's...
What?
If it were anyone else, I would agree.
Can we, skip? Can we change our...
Okay, so now I think it's Laddie.
Stop it! If I die, 2 different people are coming with me. If I die, I'm taking 2 of you with me.
No. Sultan, I don't think it is. You know what? I believe Laddie.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
It looks like I'm out.
Funny, you really had a good defense. You had a great defense, but everyone's like, Laddie. Just pointing at it.
Laddie, more like Batty.
No, don't vote Laddie.
So everybody unanimously chose to vote. They put Laddie there, parked her in the middle, got into a circle, and started obliterating. And as Laddie was obliterated away, her eyes glue red and said, I am now going to kill one of you.
Glue red?
That's right. They've been glued.
Laddie, who do you want to obliterate back as a vengeful Martian?
I choose Sultan!
Oh
Sultan?
Yeah. I feel like I deserve that.
Laddie looks at Sultan with anger, opens her mouth, and obliterates Sultan as he's obliterating her. His crown drops as his body evaporates away and clinks onto the floor as he dies, along with Laddie. Rush.
What would I do? What?
Watching Sultan and Laddie pass away, he is heartbroken.
It's true.
And he doesn't evaporate, he just kind of falls over. But he's also dead. So Laddie, Rush, and Sultan have died in this round.
Wait, what? How?
So Laddie was the vengeful Martian. So when she got voted off, that power activates, which is she can basically kill anyone she wants. So she killed Sultan. And Laddie was also Cupid linked to Rush. And so because she died, Rush died.
Oh.
Man, Laddie really did not lie. They took 2 people out with her.
Laddie, what's your final words?
I told y'all.
Okay, everybody. With such an eventful day, with 4 out of 9 villages dying on the first go, let's go back to sleep. Everybody, go to bed. Mafia, please wake up. Please select who do you want to murder. Okay, I understand. Friend zone Martian, who do you want to friend zone? Okay, wow. Dr. Martian, please wake up. Who do you wish to protect this round? Okay. Wizard Martian, please wake up. I see. Alrighty, everybody wake up.
Good morning.
Hello. Oh, wait, I'm dead.
Oh, oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Oh, no one's silenced.
Yeah.
Alyssa literally fell out of the house saying, I'm out. Yo, what's up? Hi.
God. I took notes while everyone was squabbling. But first, let's hear the morning report. Who died?
Everybody walks out, tired, anxious about the previous night, but one person did not. The portal had shut because June, you have passed away.
No!
How could you? But I wasn't sus!
June, you have final words. What would you like to say?
This doesn't play like Among Us.
I'll be sure to put in the Among Us tune at your funeral. Like, I'll just play the Among Us theme song.
The trap remix?
Yeah, the trap remix. Okay, so June is now a ghost. There are now 4 people remaining.
Jeez.
Emily, Andy, Alyssa, and Alex.
Wait, is there like one mafia?
How would you know that, Alex? You know, it's interesting because like I took all these notes and all my calculations lead me to believe Alex is the only mafia member left.
No, it's not me.
Wait, share the notes.
Okay, so Laddie I thought was pretty sus until Laddie was like, wait, no, don't kill me. I'm going to take 2 people with me. And it's like, okay. I was sus of Rush. It might have been Rush. Sultan, definitely mafia. I can just feel it in my little bones.
Yeah.
I felt it in my bones too.
Me too, same.
I think it's Alex because Alex is the only person who voted for Rush to die, which is just interesting. And we woke up and Alex is like, so there's only 1 mafia left.
Oh, get her. True. Get her.
I rest my case.
I asked how many mafias there are.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Andy is just quiet.
I have no idea.
I can't tell if Andy is playing the stay hidden until the very end tech.
Yeah.
Or if he genuinely doesn't know.
No, I just don't know.
Okay, I'm torn between Alex and Andy only because the only other person.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry. My dog doesn't normally bark.
Whoa.
When did a dog get on the planet? What the heck?
I feel like with how coordinated Mafia was round 1, I would think Alyssa, but I feel like Alyssa's clearly not Mafia because she was silenced for a whole round.
Thank you.
And I feel like she's a valuable asset.
I am.
If she were Mafia, I am. Know your worth, queen.
Thank you.
And like the only other person who I think would be as coordinated with either Rush or Sultan would be Alex.
No way.
That's a strong rebuttal.
Now, again, the first decision has to be whether or not we want to skip this round or vote this round.
If I want to vote this round, I would want to vote Andy.
No.
Emily, who would you vote for?
It's nothing personal, but I just am a little sus of Alex.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't have any super strong.
Emily, Alyssa, we shared the same Airbnb. Please, you know me.
Do I?
Illy kind of convinced me. Let's vote.
Okay, I'm down.
I think the 3 of us have someone in mind. Do we want to vote off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Andy is quiet. Yeah, and is guilty. It's always, silence equals violence. Like
you sounding more and more sus, Alex.
Silence equals violence.
Alex, you voted for yourself. You voted for yourself, Alex.
Alex.
Because everybody voted for Alex, including Alex themselves.
Stop.
The vote is being carried through, and Alex, you are now on the podium, and you have been obliterated by the villagers, including yourself. You have obliterated yourself.
Blood for the blood god.
What are your final words, Alex? Oh, I see.
That's deep.
Okay, thank you, Alex. You are now a ghost. Everybody looks around at each other, noting that only 3 people live: Emily, Andy, and Alyssa. And the night continues. Everybody go to sleep.
Deadass?
Mafia.
Are you kidding me?
Wake up.
Oh, man.
Ooh. Wow, what a nice day we're having. Emily, Andy, and Alyssa walk outside, but as they walk, steps begin to slow for one person.
Oh,
no! The hand reaches out, and Alyssa's glasses shatter onto the floor.
No!
And the Mafia have won this game.
Let's go!
Emily was the final Mafia.
God damn it,
I knew it.
I had no suspicion.
Okay, guys, let me tell you how insane this was. Laddie, you are the MVP of this round.
Yeah.
What happened was, like, Laddie was Cupid linked to Rush, and she vengeful killed Sultan, and Rush was Mafia, and Sultan was Friend Zone Mafia, and she went, bam!
Let's go. You're welcome.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Dude, I thought I was boned.
Can I just say, I'm so good at getting the Mafia out, even when I'm Mafia. You're welcome.
How come we never sussed Emily out?
My tech is to just state the obvious and act like I'm contributing anything. Like, I'm like, yeah, a lot of people died last night, huh? That's something.
And Alyssa also threw Alex under the bus, which helped.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, what was that about?
Alex, you voted yourself. Don't pretend like, oh my god, the other people.
To be fair, Alex, you seemed very guilty. Like, even I was like, is she Mafia?
Sultan was really a villager, and then Alex was really a Mafia all along. Like, they just...
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was just making a Netflix show, now streaming on...
I really want to thank Nebula and CuriosityStream for sponsoring this video. Nebula is a platform where a whole bunch of top-of-the-line creators, including myself and a few other animators, who create 100% ad-free quality content without the added stress of the algorithm or demonetization. I've always talked about this documentary, but the Nebula original Digital Gold Miners is insane, and I definitely would recommend it. It's all about gold farmers using RuneScape to grow their wealth. It's legitimately such a fun watch. Nebula has always been super great for allowing me to experiment with my content, and they were crucial for Mafia 1 even being made in the first place. They let me break out of the storytime animation and create that video, and you can find the camera version of both Mafia Round 1 and Round 2 on Nebula as well. They've been super awesome, but so has CuriosityStream, which Nebula is actually being bundled with. CuriosityStream is a platform for thousands of shows about history, philosophy, nature, medicine, everything that I kind of nerd out and enjoy about. I mean, if you're already interested in the Mafia, why not watch Al Capone, the Child of Prohibition, an episode of The Butterfly Effect, all about how the US federal government tried to take down the Mafia. Again, they've been fantastic in working with me in my last few videos, and I really do encourage you to get the bundle by signing up with the link below, which will let you get access to CuriosityStream and Nebula. This entire deal costs less than $15 a year, and it's not even a trial. Like, as long as you're a CuriosityStream member, you'll always have access to Nebula. Trust me, guys, I would not be pushing it this hard if I really didn't believe in it. So once again, click on the link in the description below or go to curiositystream.com/Maaz to get both CuriosityStream and Nebula for less than $15 a year.